Thank you for the pet. Hello, hello. Good evening. I see now. Ever since you said that you timed the pet to be like, you activate it as soon as you see the hands come up, it works perfectly. I see now. Good evening. It is evening. For some reason, I thought I had the wrong time. But no, it is Wednesday. It is 7 p.m. This is exactly when I'm supposed to start streaming. I don't know, because I haven't been able to do most of the streams for quite a while on Wednesday, and I'm guessing it's gonna be back to that same situation as soon as next week. I'm just not used to it anymore, even though I much prefer Wednesdays. Well, here we are. Back at it again. With the girls who grow with the season, but they're not very good at talking about their feelings. They might grow, but they're not very good at talking about their feelings. And last time was what's the word? Recitation. The dramatic reading of their own version of Rapunzel. Hello, hello. Good evening. How are you? We stopped after the reading thing. And then we immediately after the reading thing there was a new chapter start, and this chapter is the one about this is the one that I haven't actually read myself, the fairy tale. This is the one about the singing bone. I'm so good. I can actually remember what happens in my games. Well, thank you for the raid redeem. One hasn't seen some love in quite a while. So let's see. It's difficult to describe a smell in words. With sight, you can say exactly what you've seen. With taste, you can talk in terms of sweetness and bitterness. You don't need anything more than a few simple words to convey the sensation. But when it comes to smells, you're fundamentally limited to smell. Oh no, never mind. You're not limited to smiles. It's just a word I can't pronounce. Twin braids for the decathon! Yeah! The scent of summer, the smell after it's rained, the antiseptic smell of a hospital corridor. We describe scents figuratively as things they are not. And in this case, I can't really describe it as anything but the smell of sweat. Yeah, I can't imagine what a room like this, what a practice room like this would smell like though. I've never done ballet. I did do dancing for a few years, like street dance, and obviously because everyone's moving, the room does start smelling like sweat. But mostly you don't recognize it while you're in there. It's only when you leave, or like when you go to a different room where they're also dancing and sweating. It's like yeah, that is a smell. That is a smell. According to the calendar, we've passed what is traditionally the first day of fall, but the August sun is still shining down mercilessly into the ballet room. It's a real sauna. Having finished their ballet lesson, my classmates are now wiping away their perspiration with towels. But as soon as they've wiped down their skin, more beads of sweat issue forth. I feel like I'm overheating myself despite not having done any exercise. I bring my nose toward my clavicle and sniff. I'm relieved to find that I don't smell any worse than regular sweat, although I mutter to myself all the same about never being fully aware of your own body odor. I can't describe the ballet room as smelling of anything but sweat, though there's an exception to that. Mamichi partners wrench in sweat after an intense practice. Takazaki snatches the towel I'm holding and wipes her neck and face. Her proximity means that the smell of her sweat, no, that scent of peaches particular to Takazaki, tickles my nostrils. Arigato. The mole on her neck is such a nice spot. Whoever came up with her character design, good job. She hands a towel back to me. For some reason it gets me down to find that it smells even more like peaches. Erika smells like a sweaty cat. Cats can sweat. The Sasaki sisters scurry over and I hand the younger one the water bottle I have with me to ensure I don't get dehydrated. Actually, everyone is supposed to have their own. The younger sister looks at the other reproachfully as she gulps down my water, but when the older one asks me for the towel, she grabs it from me before I even have time to voice my assent. Evening! How are you?
なんだかこのタオルいい匂いがするね。
なんだ、焼肉の匂いでもするのか？
No.
お昼前だからってそんなにお腹空いてないよ。これ桃の匂いがする。香水をつけておしゃれだね。
She didn't perfume it.
前も言ったが、名前呼びはやめろ。
でも高崎ちゃんは呼んでるじゃない。
Oh, does she? So she does. Ever since the recitation, she stopped calling me you and started calling me Erika without any honorifics. I've told her time and again to cut it out, but I'm wasting my breath. She seems to have no intention of going back to how she called me before. And so I've had no choice but to accept it, however reluctantly.
あなたもエリカと呼びたいの？
そうだよ。だって仲良しだって気がするしね。
I mean, I have to admit, there is definitely some I will never be able to fully, like, understand what that feels like. Simply because with friends, you just call them by the first names here. We don't have the whole, oh, you call people by the last names initially, and then when you get closer, you start calling them by your first name. There's just some people you always stay on last term basis, like your bosses or doctors or whatever. I'm definitely not gonna call my doctor by their first name, but I'm also not going to call my bestest of friends by their last names. Or classmates, I guess. You don't call your classmates by your last name. Takasaki responds with a sort of sigh. I can tell if she gets it or not.
そういえば、明日から授業が増えるらしいな。
Ooh. Very far this conversation is headed, I change the subject.
礼法と第二外国語でしたね。ごちそうさまでした。
全部飲みやがったな。しかし礼法ね。ま、花嫁修行の場としてこの学院に入学させる親も多いっていうから。
Wait, aren't they already learning English though?
仕方ないのかもな。
What other language are they going to learn?
正直自信ないんだよね。
確かにダメそうだよな。
Stop being rude.
そういうエリカちゃんだって苦手そうじゃん。
八重垣だ。確かに和式での作法とか言われても正座もろくにできないしな。
That is out of your control. I slap my legs with a grin.
ここでは西洋式の礼法でしょ。
Takasaki addresses this to the Sasakis who are looking troubled.
このクラスでは花火師さんが得意そうね。
I agree, and we all turn to stare at the president, who's now wiping herself down and chatting with Shidahane. She notices our gazes.
何を悪巧みしているの？
I'm still surprised she takes off her glasses when they do ballet. I don't remember if her sight is like not that bad. So she can do sports just fine. But I'm like, I would never take off my glasses to do sport because that would just end up badly because I would not see anything I'm supposed to be doing. Finding a good wife, not husband. Very true, very true. They just don't know it yet. She comes over with a smile, bringing Shidahane along too.
新しく増える授業のことを話してたんだ。憂鬱だよ。
Right.
そうなの？私は楽しみだけどな。
Of course you are, Mrs. Class President.
語学も礼儀作法もどちらもりっちゃんさんは得意そうですしね。語学？何を言って。佐々木さんたちは新しく増える礼法と第二外国語の授業のことを言っているのよ。りっかさんは選択授業のことを言っているのよね。
Right. We're also meant to pick another elective class. At the academy, all physical education takes the form of ballet. We're also required to take etiquette classes in a second language, but...
ガーデニングと弦楽器、どちらかを選ぶというものだったわよね。そうだ。どっちか選べとか横暴だよな。
It's not the kind of thing I want the luxury of choosing. If you're given a choice, you feel like you're exercising your freedom, but being forced to choose between two things and it leaves a... Wait. But being forced to choose between two things and it leaves a bitter taste as having a choice made for you anyway.
そう？どちらも初めての経験ができて楽しみだわ。
I think I would choose...
八重垣さんはどちらを専攻しようと思っているの？
The instrument. Listening with your teacher after you graduated. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but even then, you know, that's like as soon as you're outside of the whole teacher-student situation. I've had a teacher like that as well. I had a teacher like that as well when I met him after I graduated. He was like, oh, you're free to call me by my first name. But I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You're still like 3 times as old as I am. But I appreciate the offer. So... if I take up an instrument, I could get Takasaki to teach me. Choose gardening. She has one of the green fingers, right? No, we want to get Takasaki to teach us. Oh, the flower is growing. Every time you think I'd learn, the flower is growing. This one. This one. If I'm taking it seriously, then it'll probably be the music class I choose. Gardening would be difficult with my legs.
ま、弦楽器かな。それに音楽系ならミティが得意そうだし、手取り足取り教えてもらえそうだ。
私に教えてもらいたいの？
まあ、そうだが。
I'm caught off guard. I'd expected her to come back with a retort about me not being a baby.
エリカがそう言うなら教えてあげなくもないわよ。
なんか、
You move new out of street.
お前丸くなったね。
Goes to cry in a corner. I'm already in a corner. I can't go. I mean, I. No, please let me stay on screen. I just have to check. Thank you for the bed. Just have to check something real quick. There we go. I check if I'm at the right height by seeing if the bunny ears fit the screen or not.
Baka.
Her cheeks flush and she snatches the towel from my hands to hide her face. I glance over at Shirahan, seeking confirmation that I haven't said anything peculiar, and find her looking back at me warmly, like a mother might a child.
なんだってんだ。
Oh. I scrub my hand through my bangs and slap the elder of the Sasakisu smirking at me square on the bottom.
これって仲良くなって。
Oh yes, yes. Best friends definitely slap each other on the butt.
私としてはそう思います。
Oh. Well, regarding the whispering twins out of the corner of my eye, I gaze across at my amity partner.
合わせた方がやりやすいんだろうが。
I'm surprised to find myself thinking so nonchalantly about how to integrate my lifestyle with my amity partners, despite the fact that I'd drawn a clear line between the two of us. But fuck.
どうにもまずい。
I let out a small sigh as I regard both my bookworm body and my amity partner. Both ended up crossing that line without me being aware of it. I love Chidori. Like, the initial reveal of her whole, oh, she always looks so, like she's in such a bad mood, and it turns out she just has bad eyes and for some reason just doesn't get any glasses or anything to help with that. You are so stupid. And so we begin our etiquette lessons. Oh god.
ナプキンを膝に置くときにもタイミングがあります。
The fucking what now? Shirahana passes, but when the elder Sasaki sister triumphantly copies her, she stopped with a sharp rebuke.
どこがこれから私がディナーを共にする主としますと言いましたね。
Because she only glasses in the games
ナ
for
プキンを膝の上
real.
に乗せるのは オーダーが済んだ後、これは正しい。
Ichigo looks relieved, but Sister Basquiat continues with an uncharacteristically stern look.
招待客は主がナプキンを広げてから後に広げなくてはなりません。
Oh god.
佐々木
Yeah,
さ
I
んは
would stop at
私を待
these.
たずに広げましたね。
I don't even know. You know the correct order of like cutlery when you have different sets, like oh it's a soup spoon and it's a dessert spoon and whatever. It's like that is a spoon and I can eat with it. I don't care about anything else.
はい。
Everyone listens intently to her guidance, which is far stricter than we'd expected.
聖書をそらんじる時よりも真剣だな。こういうバスキア教諭は珍しい。
Surprised by this new side to her, I listened to her explanation on how to spread out a napkin. While I don't mind getting told off, I don't like being thought of as dumb.
途中退席をしたい時にはナプキンの真ん中を持ち、三角形にして椅子の上に置きます。
Okay.
こうすることで食事中だと給仕に知らせる合図になるのです。
ダリア先生、そもそも食事中は途中退席をしてはならないと聞きましたが。
それはフランス料理の時ですね。途中退席はマナー違反です。席を立つことができるのはデザート後のお茶の時間だけです。
Yeah, I would not survive a dinner like that. Class nods. It's interesting how much etiquette differs country by country.
ご飯をいただくときはフォークの背にご飯を乗せるのよね。
Huh?
あれはイギリス式のマナーで、フォークの腹を絶対に上に向けないという作法から、
How
結
the
果的に
what?
背に乗せざるを得ないってだけなんだぜ。
そうなの？
パスタの食べ方も作法は様々だしな。イタリアじゃスプーンの助けを借りて食べると子供だとからかわれるしさ。
私たちはまだ子供じゃない。
そういうことを言っているんじゃないんだよ。
A cool voice interrupts my quarrel with Takasaki.
詳しいようですし、次
Oh,
は
no.
八重垣さんにやってもらおうかしら。
She does have a point. Actually, the 15, I think at least... I think Erica is 15 in this one, actually. At least according to the wiki.
いや、できれば席順通りで。
はい。
Bowing to unvoiced pressure, I moved my wheelchair forward, giving Mommy T a partner who was acting like she had no part in this a prod in the side as I passed by.
サウスパークのケニーみたいだ。
Ha! Okay, South Park of all things. Okay. I don't know which one of those, or one of them that is. I never watched
なん
South
です
Park. Wondering to myself about my crappy luck, I give the Dolite elder Sasuke sister a pat on the shoulder as I take her place at the table. Next up is our new language class.
イタリア語かい。
Ooh, yeah, right. Catholic school, Italian. I'd heard that Italian was growing more prevalent in the Vatican in place of the official Latin, but although this is a Christian school, I think I'd rather have had a choice. There must be other languages people want to learn, like German for those aiming to become doctors. Or French for those who fancy themselves artists.
さあ、自己紹介文は書けたかしら。
Well, kids, before we hit 25 to 27. I'm just a 24 years old teenage girl. Since all we need to do is apply what's written in the teaching materials, everyone should have managed, but
よりによって高崎かよ。
Takasaki enjoys our English lessons, but she's terrible at languages. When she's picked to go first, I instinctively found myself wanting to say a prayer for her.
ミキアーモ。
She gives her name falteringly. When she's managed it, her expression changes to one of pride.
では、あなたの生まれはどこでしょうか？
The next question follows hot on the trail of the first and she freezes up. I guess the introduction she prepared didn't mention anything about her background. As the silence lengthens, she brings her face closer to the textbook, then finally finds her voice again. But the pronunciation of sono, the meaning I'm from, comes out sounding like salty. Our classmates snicker. However, The mention of salt calls to mind corn on the cob with a generous sprinkling of salt to bring out the corn's rich sweetness. My stomach gurgles.
まあ言ったな。
Erika. Rubbing my stomach, I look over at one of the Sasakis to cast the blame on her. She flushes red and shakes her head vigorously, and I wait longingly for lunch.
Lunchtime.
I say, snacking once
よう
again.
やく落ち着いたぜ。
Aha! Scarfed on my long-awaited lunch, a keema curry packed with fresh summer vegetables. During the summer months, I crave cool, refreshing food, but curry is the one exception. It's the only food I can always eat, even if I have no appetite. The main ingredient in keema curry is minced meat, but this version using lots of eggplant is probably our own chef's special. It has just a drop of oyster sauce hidden beneath the garlic and ginger that adds a subtle hint of seasoning.
あとは半熟の目玉焼きが乗ってりゃ最高だったんだが。
Perhaps I hadn't wanted to throw in too many flavors. An egg would add a nice mild note, but might also overwhelm the rest of the dish. I scoop up a spoonful of the curry sauce, rich with eggplant and tomato, and gulp it down with some white rice. Blissful taste again spreads through my mouth. The combination of spices alongside the tartness of the tomato is exquisite. Mmm.
おい、食事中だぞ。
How many
ノー
times
ト
have
を
you
取るの
told
は
her
やめ
that?
ろ。
Do you really think she's gonna stop now? Takasaki's scribbling something in her notebook, a plate of salad in front of her as usual. I crane my neck to take a peek.
英語は良くてもイタリア語はダメか。
ダメね。好きになれないわ。
She looks unusually tired. After she's finished writing, she tosses the notebook onto her desk.
元気そうだな。
You keep showing up every time they eat? Or maybe they're just eating every time. I say to her.
エリカの目は節穴なの？ああ、そうね。今のはいつもの軽口か。
本当に苦手みたいだな。でも語学ってくくりなら、英語もイタリア語もそう変わらないだろ。
Eggplant is good, yeah.
そう？私にはイタリア語の方が難しく感じるわ。特に発音が難しい。
I would argue that Italian pronunciation is actually way easier than English is.
お前、おかしな巻き舌になってたものな。
She nibbles at her salad uninterestedly, apparently lacking the will to retort back. It's like the lettuce itself is the source of her suffering.
明日は選択授業が始まる。もっと面倒事が増えるな。
ガーデニングと弦楽器でしょ？そっちの方が全然いい。
She really has it in for Italy, to put it kindly.
それで、エリカはどちらを選ぶの？ああ、私に気を使う必要はないわ。
承知しているよ。そうだな。
I take another bite of curry as I mull it over. This is no good. Eating your meal with a head full of worries turns it into little more than a refueling. It's borderline sacrilege to scarf down your meals in an odd spare moment while you're distracted by other things. It turns good food into mere fuel. It makes the process of eating very boring. I put down my spoon and announce my decision.
お前と一緒の教科にするよ。
So much for you don't need to worry about me. I'll pick whichever one you're choosing. Okay, Annika, I don't think you got the hint.
なぜ私と一緒の教科にしたの？
Takasaki looks at me curiously.
ひねくれているからだよ。
Eating is pretty boring to me either way. Eating is a lot of... Like, properly eating is a lot of work for me. It's like it's one thing to be having snacks all the time, but it's a completely different thing to think of, oh god, what will I have for dinner? What will I make for lunch? What will... I answer.
それは魅力的な理由ね。
I gesture towards Sister Basquiat, who's going on with her explanation of the violin, her index finger pressed to her lip. Takasaki's nodding along knowledgeably.
礼法の授業みたいになるのはごめんだ。だろ？
Also, we're taking music. Yeah. Ever the contrarian, I decided on music rather than gardening for my elective. Everyone else, Press, the Sasakis, my bookworm buddy, has chosen gardening. Although they've repeatedly asked me to join them, it's human nature to resist harder the stronger that you're pulled in one direction. I decided to take the music class instead alongside my métier partner, and now here I am learning the violin from Sister Basquiat.
ガーデニングの授業は片上さんが行うそうよ。
I have no idea who that is supposed to be. That's the first time that name has ever been dropped in the game.
寮長か。 そういや、
Ah!
バスキア教諭とダリアの花の品種改良を手伝
Never
って
mind,
い
maybe
ると
her
か言
name
ってた
has
も
been
のな。
dropped before and I just forgot. But the Dome Mother, we know she exists, yeah. I'd elicited a nugget of information from her myself. Even though it was no more than 2 months ago, it feels like an age. I'm absorbed in my thoughts when...
それではここの部位は何と言ったかしら、八重垣さん。
I'm suddenly called upon.
ですね。
もしかして聞いていなかったのかしら？
Yes. I shake my head. Takasaki whispers to me that it's called a chin rest, and although I wonder if perhaps she's playing a trick, I repeat it.
はい、そうです。
Ah!
顎当ては付け替えることができます。これは木製のものですが、木製でも形状や色艶。
They did? I feel like as soon as I actually manage to, you know, get through the last game, I have to look into like other content all around. I didn't even know there were drama CDs. Oh boy. It's just every time now that they're all out in English completely, I already managed to, I think, spoil myself on something for the last game, but I've been taking a step back from anything and all in regards to Googling or whatever to just not spoil myself anymore until I finally get around to playing it.
アレルギー対策などで樹脂製のものなどもあります。自分に合ったものを付け替えてくださいね。
It's fascinating to see Dali actually teaching, yeah. Ikachiri, they released monthly counting up to the... Oh, really? Are those available? Like, in English? Properly translated somewhere? Without turning my gaze away from Sister Basquiat as she continues in her lecture, I convey my gratitude to my tea partner who's sitting beside me.
別に素直にわからないと言っても怒らないと思うわよ。
話を聞いてないとなったら悲しむだろうが。
怒られるのが嫌なのではないの？
Maybe a bit of both. Given my personality, I'm used to being scolded, but I don't like to make people sad.
もしかしてバスキア教諭が目当てで。
なんだよ、どうした？
なんでもないわ。でもバイオリンもそうだけれど譜面も読めないのでしょ？
そうだがどうした？
She gives me a sidelong glance with her narrow almond
音楽に全
eyes.
く興味がなかったのね。
Yeah, I still think her hair and eyes are green. But if the game wants to tell me that's brown, then I guess it's brown. English by fans. Okay. Ouch. I respond by saying, I am a bit. Not Erika. Chidori's hair and eyes.
少し
So
はあ
not
るっ
her,
ちゃある
the other one.
そうなの？
声が大きい。抑えろ。
Thank you. Thank you. She nods and I steal a glance at Sister Basquiat, who's explaining that the strings are called G, D, A, and E, starting from the one that produces the lowest sound.
このゲーセン、一番太い弦ですね。このゲーセンだけで弾かれる曲、ゲーセン上のアリアは有名ですね。
You may have also heard of Devil on G String, which is a visual novel that I've wanted to play for like 500 years that I think I also own on Steam, but I still haven't gotten around to. As I half listen to her explain the names of the strings alongside brief anecdotes of the sort, I ask Takasaki whether there's any musical pastime that doesn't require reading sheet music. She whispers.
もしかして歌を歌うのが好きとか？
Absolutely not. Well, I do. Erika doesn't. I snort to cover my discomposure, making it fairly obvious that I don't. Takasaki, however, continues staring fixedly at my lips.
おい、
She places her finger on my chin and tips my head up as though she's getting ready to kiss me.
授業中だぞ。
That's the only problem.
こうしてやや上を向いて歌うと喉の開きが良くなるの。
は？
今度やってみるといいわ。
だから勘違いだと言っただろ。
Pathetic with a low green hair, though. Yeah, no, everyone has very, very realistic hair colors. Whoa. No. I wouldn't say having silver gray hair as a natural hair color as a 16-year-old. The girl thinking gay thoughts. Is that related? I don't think it is, no. I quickly shake off her hand and induce a fake coughing attack to cover my blush and calm myself down. Class continues until... Ooh. Mm.
ようやく構えるところまで来たはいいが。
I speak dejectedly, bow in hand, after trying to play a note.
そもそも音が全然出ないってのはどうなんだ。
Aware I must be looking a bit stiff, I force my mouth into a frown and complain resentfully. Takasaki examines the bow intently.
これは新品の弓なのね。松ヤニを塗ってないのだから、いくら弾いても音は出ないわよ。
This time I release a bonus for Japanese physical editions, 10 total, each is released. 1.5 hours? Wow! That's a lot. That's a lot. I did. Wow. Okay.
私のセンスのなさからじゃないのか。
I have no idea how well the English versions of the game sold. Like if they would ever consider translating extra content like that. The only visual novel in not even recent years, or the only Yuri visual novel that I've played that actually had its drama CDs translated was, what is it? Oh god, fuck. I forget its name. Where is it? Yeah, kind of. Thank you. And it's where it's on the roof. Because I own all of the drama CDs, but I still haven't listened to them after all those years. I do, however, own the manga, which came out in English, I think. Yeah, in English, which had another original story and some extra stories for the pairings in the game. I actually have the Steam badge at level 5 as well. I was obsessed with that game. I was obsessed. Played it November 29th, 2016. Wow. That's a long time ago. Not gonna lie.
使い込んでいるものでも30分引くごとに 2,3 回こすってつけるのよ。私のを使ってみなさい。
She goes and gets her own bow, then hands it over to me.
さあ、もう一度。
お前が最初にやってもいいんだぞ。
私は基本は押さえているわ。さあ。
I do as she says and put the violin into position again, this time with Takasaki's bow in hand.
そう。顎と鎖骨で挟み込むように。まっすぐ前を見ながら、そのまま。
Ask me why. Wait, hold on. What is the Steam? Hold on. What does the badge for have look like? I'm assuming you don't have it at max because there's some kind of the design is nicer for a level that's not completely up there. If only I could find it, then I could. Or maybe because no one's selling the cards. Hey, the game is on sale right now. Good to know. Me focus on my game for once. No. Flower. I have no idea. Why do you not have that one, Max? I have the one for the first game at level 2. And the one for this game I have at level 1. And the one for... Ah, okay, the others I don't have. Sure sad. There was a time when I was obsessed with the badges. There's no Steam badge for... Huh? Really? Wow. That's a little sad, not gonna lie. Who put out the physical editions for these? Manga Gamer, right? Was it Manga Gamer? No, who's translating these games anyway? Oh, Just. There was a time when I was thinking of getting the physical editions, but I already owned the digital versions. And then I heard all the how long it always took them to actually finally ship them out. So now I'm just like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna be buying that. I mean, they haven't even updated the actual game, the English game site. Yeah, I remember looking at the official flowersgame.com website still only lists the first game and the second game. Yep. Even though all 4 of them are out now, that's really bad. That's really fucking bad. Yeah. I mean, maybe in another 5 years.
結構この体勢つらいんだが。
まずは正しいフォームを覚えなければならないの。ゴルフや野球でもそうでしょ？
お前に私の愛するベースボールで説教を受けるとは思わなかったよ。
I try making a joke, but Takasaki takes no notice. She regards me closely.
片当てなしでも大丈夫そうね。
さっき言っていたやつか。なくても平気なのか？
単に体型として必要かどうかなのよ。必ず必要というわけではないわ。片当てなしの方が鎖骨に響いていいという人もいるし。
隠された意外な才能ってやつかね。
今の構えを覚えておけばいい。その構えを体に染み込ませれば、手を離しても顎と肩で挟んでいるからバイオリンは落ちないわ。
Foot and violins aren't exactly cheap, and though I nod in response, I make no move to actually let go of it.
ちょっと。
My posture must have slipped as my mind wandered onto other things, and Takasaki leans forward and takes my hand in hers.
おい。
下がっているわ。きちんと顎とここ。
やめろ。変なところに触るな。
何を言っているの？鎖骨に当てて挟むようにして。
Even though I know she's just instructing me, the touch of her fingers against my neck makes me feel a little strange. With her so close to me, I can feel the heat of her body and smell the scent of peaches coming from her.
胸も迫ってきてるしな。
Oh, Erika. I try my best not to think about it, but now that I have, I can't stop my gaze from trading down to her top quality assets. I feel a mix of envy and a desire to touch them.
ちょっと話聞いているの？
Is Yuri usually slow burning? It really depends on what you're playing, but this specifically, yes. I cough, trying to get my wandering mind back on track and readjust my posture.
なんで顎と肩でバイオリンを挟まなきゃならないんだ。
She's very smart, but only in
別に
very
弾くだけならどん
specific
な姿勢で
things.
も構わないんじゃないの？
この姿勢、構えで重要なのは左手のネック。わかるわね？ネック、つまり左手の自由度が演奏の要となるから、その姿勢でなければならないのよ。
To this day, I never bothered to look it up, but I wonder who came up with the violin in the first place, and who figured out that this is how you make an instrument work. Who came up with this thing? I nod and ask the question offhandedly. I'm impressed there's actually a meaning behind it.
顎を下げない。
She immediately points it out when I start to slip.
首をかしげすぎてもバイオリンの響きを邪魔してしまう。 きちんと顎と鎖骨の2つの視点だけで押さえるのを覚えて。
The yaoi game. Okay, you have to be just a little more specific. Which the yaoi game are we talking about? The Blue Man. Dramatical murder. This is, oh, right, okay. That kind of Blue Man, okay. Yeah, no, but that one is pretty explicit in its description anyway. Yeah, I want to play that one someday, sometime, when I have money to buy the game.
わかったよ。
I kind of want to stick my tongue out at her, but somehow I'm not really annoyed. Not that much of a slow man compared to many well-known Yuri titles. Yeah! I think the thing that helps Flowers to not feel... It's a comfortable slow. I mean, I enjoy a good slow burn. Is because it is divided into these chapters, so we can focus on every relationship. A little more on this one, a little more on that one. Because if all of this was in the same game, and it was still at this speed, I think... I'm not sure I would have managed to sit through it all. It's an Elderjack penis monster, yeah, so... I don't see your point. The music just stopping right when I answer that. That's not a good look for me. Now Simian looks nice. I like the art style. I think I put it on my wish list. Yeah, I have it on my wish list. Also, this has different endings depending on where you go. It has a bunch of like bad ending kind of stuff as well in there. I think the full-on tentacle thingy is actually bad ending stuff. I like the first two reviews of the game. I see one is by someone with the username Aoba fan, tall blue man sexy, which assume, you know, they called Aoba fans, so I'm assuming they play DM&D. And also the other one is Cat Boyle's Rule. I love the pretty gay dudes. I'm like, yeah! Yeah! Alright. It looks like a nice game. It looks like a nice game. It's actually... Wow, it's actually on sale for 10% off. Oh. Flowers is a slow VN before today. It's... Actually, I think the first Flowers took me the longest. I think for the first it took me like 15 hours when I read it on my own because I had to get into it first. This one didn't took me like 8 hours when I read it for myself. Now that we're reading it on stream and I'm talking about 500 other things at the same time, it's obviously gonna take us longer. Thank you for a smart visual novel and enjoy it. My good man. Just because I don't play that kind of stuff on stream, obviously because I can't put that on stream, doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. Ow. Just a little while back I wouldn't have been able to stand being thought by her this way.
そんなに悪いやつじゃないしな。
何？
いや、すぐに試験だってさ。無茶言うよな。
ゴセック作曲のガボットでしょ？完璧に弾けってわけでなし。き
I
ちん
wonder
と
how
学
much
べば
money
大
the
丈夫
school
よ。
has though. Like to just be able to provide a bunch of new violins to
そもそ
to
も
the
曲名す
students?
ら聞
That's
いたこと
wild.
ないって話だぜ。
You think he knows?
バイオリンでは有名な曲だから耳にしたことがあると思うわ。
I don't know what Picard is. I tell her that it's unlikely, but then I remember the case of Hedwig's theme and reconsider.
互いに互いのバイオリンの持ち方を確認し合いましたか？それでは次は実際に音を出してみましょう。
Sister Basquiat's voice rings out. I adjust my grip on the bow, feeling a little more optimistic that I'll actually manage it this time. And if... Oh... Okay. Yeah, nah. I enjoy that for myself. I don't think that's an enjoyable experience to stream. Like for me. I'm beginning to doze off, probably worn out from all of the new classes when the hands washing my legs come to a stop, and worried that something's wrong, I open my eyes.
ごめんなさいね。つい考え事をしてしまって。
I can't exactly complain, considering that I was falling asleep while she was hard at work bathing me.
そういえば高崎が風呂の介助もしてやろうかとか言っていたな。
I rejected the idea out of embarrassment at being seen naked by a classmate, but leaving it in the hands of the already busy Sister Basquiat is an issue in its own right. We both end up speaking at the same time, and I feel suddenly self-conscious. Before I can open my mouth again, Sister Basquiat carries on, her brow furrowed. She prefaces her remarks by saying that she doesn't like to feel like she's tattling.
白羽さんから何か聞いていないかしら？
She asks me. I tilt my head at the vague phrasing, and she continues with a little sigh.
白羽さんから高坂さんのことを聞かれたの。
You soon keep the instruments of organization buying up on themselves. How do we know they have only 72 students? Is that mentioned? Oh my god. How many classes would that be? Like 4 classes? Really? It's not a lot.
高坂のことですか？
For some reason, I always thought the school was like way bigger and way more people.
ええ。八重垣さんは
3
白羽
classes,
さんと
24
仲
kids
が良いで
each.
しょ？
I'm the one who encouraged her to find out the reason Kosaka left the academy, so... It's not strange that she should be asking.
別に尋ねてもおかしくないでしょ。え？あれだけ仲が良かったんだ。急に辞めたら理由を知りたくなるのは当然だと思いますけどね。
Sister Basquiat murmurs her agreement, her eyes downturned. I panic slightly, realizing that I may have been colder than I intended.
いや、バスキア教諭が悪いって話ではないです。ただ、尋ねるのは当たり前だと。
そうね。でも、なぜ今なのかしら？
Because she was wallowing in self-pity beforehand. Her words give me a start. I wonder how she'd react if she found out I was the instigator. Perhaps my uncertainty shows as Sister Basquiat apologizes, then resumes washing me.
こんなこと生徒に打ち明けるなんていけないわよね。八重垣さんとは一番お話ししやすいから。
そうなんですか。
Some weaklings drop out during the first year, true! But, I mean, they got some transfer students. So I think it evens out.
生徒を比べてしまうなんてダメね。聞かなかったことにして。
She beams at me and I feel a painful clenching in my chest.
なんだってんだ。
Special. I let out a long deep breath to expel the heat from my chest, chiding myself for being happy to be told something like that.
こんなことを頼むのはおかしいかもしれないけれど。
I encourage her to go on, unable to resist the earnest glimmer in her eyes.
白羽さんのこと少し気にかけておいてもらえないかしら。
Yeah. I'm the one who encouraged her to look into the incident with Kosaka so that she could move on.
注意してみますよ。
Still, I accept Sister Basquiat's request. It'll be a good opportunity for me to check on her progress anyway. Yeah, no, sorry, there's gonna be like a full other game in between. Shirahana looking into where Mayu went and actually finding out where
恥
Mayu
をかく
went.
のを防ぐために覚えるのではありません。相手に対して敬意を払えているかどうかなのです。
Uh-huh. Well, she cannot use her legs at all. is what we know. So 3 years with no internet connection sounds terrifying. I'm so surprised. I think it was mentioned like once in the first game that technically they do have, like, this is the modern times. They do have cell phones and stuff, but they just don't use them in school. She admonishes the elder Sasaki sister, who has messed up countless times now, then addresses the rest of us, all listening nervously.
このような堅苦しい作法などどうでもよいと考えているのかもし
Also, her
れ
name
ま
is
せん。
Erika. Yeah, well, that much dorm real estate for... Yeah, true.
ですが礼儀をわきまえることによりあなた方ひいてはご家
Dishonor
族の
on
名誉
you!
を守ることになります。
Dishonor on your cow! I'm hungry. Hearing the old fourth on the family does little to sway me, but when it comes to the rest of my classmates, it seems to have struck a particular nerve with Ichigo, who has been making more mistakes than anyone else. She's shrunk in on herself and is listening respectfully to the lecture.
ではもう一度初めから席に着くところから始めますよ。
Ichigo is clearly very nervous about being called upon again.
助け舟の一つも出してやるかね。
It wouldn't be a bad idea to put it in my dad. Yippee! Poor girl. Deciding that it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have Ichigo in my dad, I raised my hand.
どうしました八重垣さん。
手順を見て大体覚えたと思うので、一度直にやってみて確かめたいのですが。
Sister Basquiat narrows her golden eyes and glances at Ichigo, who has already been picked to demonstrate. Then,
そうですね。では席に着くところから始めてください。
but she's already seated. It seems a novelty of me offering to take part in something has worn out. Ichigo returns to her seat and smiles weakly, as though she just finished training for a marathon.
ありがとう八重垣ちゃん。
From redoing every day to not having either kind of sucked at first, you had plenty of other things going on. Was fun. Yeah. For me, it really depended. Like, we had a caravan, trailer, whatever the fuck you call them. Which is a nice thing if it's a novelty. You go camping sometimes. That's cool, right? It stops being cool when you have to do that every single weekend. And you're stuck, not even like out there in the wilderness, but just in the same old place every single weekend, every single time you have time off from school. And you have no internet, you have no nothing. And you have to pass your time. And you've already read through all of the books you saved up for summer vacation because you read 3 books in a day. So you run out of books like 5 days in. So the entire not having internet for extended periods of time was not my idea of a fun time.
こいつは貸しだからな。
She touches my side out of view of Sister Basquiat. I guess it's her way of showing affection.
座るときは腰を深くかけ、食卓との間を
Do you read paragraphs
握
3
り
at a time?
拳
He
一
says
つ程
yes.
度開けるのが適当。
No, I just read quickly. Moving my chair forward, I mentally rehearse the process. It's not just Ichigo Sasaki who's struggling.
発音ですが、さしすせそのしは SI ではなくスイと発音してください。
Okay.
はい。
All the voices, dramatic pause and shit. I do have voices in my head for when I'm reading. I don't necessarily like... No. I do have a voice in my head that reads it for me that is not my own voice, if that makes sense. But I don't do the whole... and imagine how the people are talking differently. I don't need all that to understand what's going on, so I just read what it says and move on. Although her expression doesn't look to have changed, as someone who spends a huge amount of time with her, I can tell just how worn out she is. Her voice is in my head! Nakazaki's the one who announced that she only takes up hobbies that are of benefit to her. She won't give in and quit just because languages aren't her forte. She's tackling it head on despite being bad at it. That's why it's so draining for her.
苦手なものは苦手だって避ければいいのによ。
では先ほど教えました子音が2つ重なる即音便の例を。 高崎さん。
それは確か。
Takasaki hesitates, her irritated gaze wandering, and the surrounding students shrink back. Of course, all she's really doing is narrowing her eyes in thought.
わかりません。
Her distress is written all over her face.
珍しいわね。
Hey, you exist! The president voices her surprise.
そう言われるのは委員長で3度目だよ。
She tilts her head at me and continues eating her soy sauce flavored pasta. I hadn't had the heart to order my exhausted dummy teapot and to bring me lunch straight after our language class, so... She's actually eating lunch in the... well, it's not a cafeteria. The dining hall! I've come along with her to the dining hall. Thank you for the pad, thank you also for the high time, and thank you for the follow. Come in!
なんだか随分と疲れているみたいだけど。
エリカの例え癖で言うなら、今の私はプルトニウムを積んでいないデロリアンだってこと。
I have no idea what you're talking about.
すっからかんってことだよ。
I interpret for her. This buttery soy sauce pasta is certainly delicious, but...
物憂げな顔がまんまり。
So fellas, is it way too...
味もしなくなる。
Is it gay to... I grumble to myself.
第二外国語よね。私も正直、あま
え
り得意じゃないのよね。
珍しいな。委員長が勉強関連も苦手だっていうの初めて聞いたぜ。
語学ってセンスが問われる気がするのよね。英語はまだなんとかなるんだけど。
私も。
Takasaki nods her agreement, and I find myself wanting to ask how much better her English classes are actually going.
そうだわ。八重垣さん、語学が堪能みたいだし、私と高崎さんに教えるっていうのはどうかしら。
Well, you see me 4 times a week. Is that not enough? No, you haven't, because I keep trying to draw a thing, but it's not working out the way I want it to.
いいことを思いついた的に言われてもな。
I continue watching Takasaki list as they nibble at her salad.
教えるのは構わない。こいつには弦楽器の授業で世話になっているからな。
いいの？
Takasaki looks surprised.
構わないよ。放課後、暇な時にでも相手してやるよ。
そう。ありがとう。
My Michi partner looks down and then takes another forkful of salad. I'm a little bewildered by her reaction. It feels weird having her respond so meekly.
いいな。ねえ、八重垣さん、
I
私
never
も。
said anything about helping out you.
委員長は白羽に襲わればいいだろ。
Helping you out. I bluntly turn her down. Speaking of Shirahane, since Sister Basquiat requested it of me, I've decided I should try and keep an eye on her. Candy Kingdom still under construction. More candy donations needed. You're exactly right. However,
この時間から外出か。
since she didn't have cooking club today, Shirahane returned to the dorms early. Other club activities are finishing up now, and it's really no time to be going out again, and yet there she is.
これでトイレってだけなら笑えるだけだが。
I mean, yeah, true. Dorm rooms, real estate. How many people could you fit in there? Assuming everyone... It's always it's always 3 people in a room. It should be 3 people in a room. That still doesn't look like it has enough rooms for everyone. Doesn't look like this is something to just laugh off. Shirahane heads out of the dormitory building.
Hey, sausage. Sausage.
Then along the path through the woods that leads to the
こ
school.
りゃ、薬が効きすぎたのかね。
Where's she going? As I watch Shirahane recede down the path, I think back to how I told her to investigate Kosaka's disappearance. What reason could my timid bookworm body possibly have for heading across to the school building in the twilight hours of the day? Probably when she gets happy or excited. I like her voice a lot, but I always forget who her voice actress. And that timidity of hers seems to confer heightened powers of perception too. She stops still for a moment, and I sense her scanning her surroundings carefully. After a while, she finally gives up and her footsteps move off into the distance.
つけていくのは無理か。
One such incident might be brushed off as her imagination playing tricks on her, but I doubt she'd ignore a second. If I can't follow her, then I could cut around in front. I wait until the following day, around the same time the thought occurred to me. Aya Suzaki. Aya Suzaki. Aya Suzaki. I do not know any of these people. Have you voiced anything that I know? No. Wow. That's a lot of roles. How do I not know any? How do I have? I've not seen any of these things. Jesus. Master. Oh, I know. Yeah. No, I know her, but I haven't. I have not interacted with Cinderella girls at all. Mako from Kill la Kill. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, that's also Tamako from Tamako Market. Okay, never mind. There is some stuff that I've seen that she features in. Okay. I hear a voice so faint that I would have missed it had I not been on the alert.
高崎の歌か。
Yeah, Kill la Kill. She usually sings in the morning, but it seems that today she's practicing now instead as the evening starts to draw in.
いい歌だが。
I have other things to focus on right now. I gaze up at the window to my bookworm buddy's room. Although I thought I could cut around in front of her yesterday, she was already too far ahead. It wouldn't have been much fun to have been left waiting over at the school only for no one to turn up. Which is why I'm now waiting outside at the same time as the other day to see if she comes
ど
out
うした
again.
の？こんな場所で。
What are you doing here? I recognize that voice of all the people to be spotted by.
夕涼みだよ。外にいたら悪いか。
別に構わないけど。
She's probably wondering if I was listening to her singing. Her expression betrays a mixture of embarrassment and anger.
そろそろ肌寒くなってきた。部屋に戻った方がいい。
Remember how if the J is the first letter in the text box, it doesn't show up, and if I it's a problem with the font that I haven't fixed.
寒くないけど。
I do not know what it is with the J of all things being the thing that it doesn't like, but
私はもう少し夕涼みしていくよ。
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. I don't. Wait, hold on. Shit. Is it gay too? Jay eats anything before it disappears almost entirely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Jay's very hungry.
肌寒くなってきたのに？
She's so damn persistent. She scratches her cheek and goes on awkwardly. Where is my cursor moving?
約束の第二外国語の勉強だけど。これから教えてもらうのはダメかしら。
I'm about to repeat the word promised incredulously, but I stop myself when I see the imploring look in her eyes.
悪いが、そいつは後にしてくれないか。ちょいと用事が詰まっていてね。
昨日もそう言って後回しにしたでしょ。
そうだったか。
The expression has changed to one of irritation, but out of the corner of my eye, I've just spotted what I was waiting for. Shidahan has finally stepped out into the corridor.
話は後だ。それじゃな。
ちょっと話は終わってないわよ。エリカ。
I spin my wheels, making a fast getaway and leaving her voice far behind me. After hurrying ahead and lying in wait for her outside the school building, I watch Shidahan approach, following her movements from a safe distance. From outside, I watch her walk along one of the main corridors and head toward the teacher's lounge.
なるほどね。
I guess she probably hasn't received a satisfactory answer from Sister Basquiat about the reason Kosaka dropped out of school, which is why she was resorting to force.
真面目なやつほど思い詰めると怖いって知っていたが。
Aren't you also one of the quiet ones, technically? I suddenly feel wretched. She must be going to the teacher's lounge to search for records relating to Kosaka's departure. I feel an intense rush of jealousy when I reflect on how much she must miss her to be driven to such foolishness. My mood darkens. I draw in a long breath and then let it out slowly as though to expel my feelings with it. Once I've calmed down somewhat and affirmed that I'm back to my usual self, I decide to return to the dorms. Don't on the pavement with how fast she speeds away. I rev my wheelchair. A big cloud of smoke. As soon as the big cloud of smoke dissipates, I lie there on the ground, dead. Or however that one drill tweet goes. As I return down the same path, I glance up toward the scarlet sky, the red striated by towering columns of cloud. They're so huge, the sight of them alone makes me feel dizzy. I can't get a handle on their scale at all. Still feeling wretched, my thoughts turn to my family and especially to my older sister. Hi! That's probably why I don't feel any sense of surprise when I hear Shirahana's voice behind me. My gaze travels down from the red clouds and towards Shirahana's hands.
証拠を残すような真似はしないか。
I note that she's returning empty-handed.
こんなに遅くにどうしたの？
ちょいと散歩だよ。お前もどうした？ウサギのご機嫌伺いか？
学者に用があったのよ。
I'm taken aback by her honesty. I shouldn't be, though.
白羽が嘘をつくのなんて想像できないものな。
I mean, she's not doing anything wrong. She gracefully cocks her head at me as I smile to myself.
高崎もお前と同じくらいに分かりやすいとありがたいんだけどな。
高崎さん？彼女と何かあったの？
第二外国語、あいつ苦手だろ。だから教えてやる約束をしてたんだが、あることで。
I look up at Shirahane.
二度ほど保護にしたら睨みやがってさ。試験だってまだ先だろうに。別段急ぐこともないってのにな。
そういうこと。
何がそういうことなんだよ。
Shirahane smiled softly in the light of the setting sun.
高崎さんはね、拗ねているのよ。
拗ねる？何に対してだ？約束を破ったことにか？
それもあるだろうけど、勉強を教えてもらえないということが原因じゃないわ。八重垣さんと一緒に過ごすことができなかったせいよ。
そんな少女みたいな理由。
She is a teenager! As soon as I've said it, I realized that, well, we are still teenagers. However...
反抗期真っ盛りのガキじゃないんだぞ。
きっと、仲のいいお友達と遊ぶ約束をしていたのに、その友達は約束に重きを置いてくれていなかったということに拗ねているのよ。
Is that really how Takasaki sees it? I think of her hearty aloof gaze.
ちゃんと約束は守ってあげないと。お友達でしょ？
I bark at the word friends.
私の友人は本だけだよ。
That's not true. Despite my sharp retort as I gaze up at the scarlet-tipped clouds, I find myself feeling just a little bit curious about how Takasaki sees me.
白羽さんと一緒にいたの？
No! We randomly met up! Her tone is ice cold. She's sitting at her desk with her textbook open. She doesn't even glance at me when I come in. Her back may be turned, but I can tell she's irritated. After finishing up my somewhat awkward conversation with Shirahane, I'd watched the sky darken from scarlet to deep purple before heading back to my room.
密会してするおしゃべりは随分と楽しいのでしょうね。
I want to check with my bookworm body if this even icier tone seriously still means she's just sulking.
ちょいと図書室へ本を借りに行ってただけさ。お前は試験勉強中ってか？
誰かさんが教えてくれないから一人でね。図書室に行ったにしては本借りてきてないじゃない。
借りようとした本が貸し出し中だったのさ。なんだよ、そんなに教えてほしかったのか？
I glance at her notebook, which is open on the table. Looks like she's been taking notes.
書き取りなら私が教える必要はなさそうだな。
I pick up the notebook with a smile, but she snatches it back from me, her face a mask.
発音を教えてほしいのよ。
She mutters this almost unintelligibly, her face downturned. Queen of nerdy teenagers, please go understand my cringe! For a moment, I'm not quite sure what she said.
もういいわ。
She answers curtly.
面倒なやつだな。
Ah, open up to me. Thinking back to what Shirahane said about her sulking, I go and sit down opposite Takasaki.
わかった。腹を割って話そう。
は？何を言ってるの？
Clearly you're dissatisfied with something, so talk about it. You know, having conversations and actually talking about things that bother us about the other person is good. It can help to improve said situation.
何か思うところがあるんだろ。話してみろよ。
あのね。
Tsundereか。
そうだ。話しづらいなら委員長から紅茶セットを借りてくるとしようか。ロシアンティーでも入れてやるよ。
ちょっと。
あとはそうだな。カントリーミュージックでもかけて。
わかったわ。エリカは茶化してるのね。
I laugh before congratulating her on finally having caught on. She glares at me heartily, though now I know it's just a look of exasperation she's giving me.
相手にしているのがバカバカしくなるわね。
Her tone is sharp, but I can spot a smile breaking through her mask, which draws up my feline smile in turn.
それじゃあ私もバイオリンの試験勉強をしましょうかね。
I fetch my borrowed violin and take up position just as Takasaki thought
ちょっ
me.
と集中できないでしょ？
BGM 代わりだよ。耳に優しい音楽が流れていた方が
You don't even know how to play a single tune!
環境のことを考えてくれるなら、ベッドから床にこぼれ落ちている本を何とかして。
I mean, I think Takasaki is mostly just jealous of Erika spending time with others, especially because she's the last one to really join in. Erika always says like she doesn't have friends or she doesn't hang out with people, blah blah blah. She does actually joke around with the classmates we actually get to see a lot. So Takasaki kind of being in the circle but not fully, seeing as she just transferred in, is always more easily going to feel like she doesn't fully fit in. That coupled with the fact that like next to someone like Shirahane, I have to continue talking in a voice for 2 minutes, thank you Barry. Coupled with the fact that Shirahane is so otherworldly, beautiful, whatever you want to call it, and everyone says that, and Erika obviously cares a lot about Shirahane, but not in a romantic sense, but in a she's a very good friend and I care for her a lot sense. But Takasaki might rationally be able to tell that okay, she just cares about her a lot. But on the other hand, if you see someone you are starting to take in romantic interest in, always like offer up all your time and help all the time and do this and do that, you're gonna be like, oh, okay. I can see where she's coming from.
神経質なやつだな。不潔で死んだやつはいないぞ。
Treat your books more nicely, Erika.
私がホコリアレルギーだったらどうするの？
Then you would have died a long time ago already. She answers me flatly. I set my violin down on the desk and make my way over to the bed.
白羽の推理も外れることがあるんだな。
With a resigned sigh, I start to tidy up my books.
So Barry, how are you?
Now that the various exams I have been looming over us are finished with, I'm able to face the tea party with the weight of my mind. The president had said we'd have a party after exams were over, but it had been easy to hear the implied provided they all go well. If you fail an exam, then we're required to take supplementary lessons every Sunday without exception until we pass. Got advice that it doesn't think every puts the same importance in friendship. It's nice. I think you can be forced sex in a house now. Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry about long messages. I don't mind at all. I mean, Erika is she doesn't get close to people. So she has a way harder time at showing that she cares about someone, or like making it seem like she does care. She's just not very good at showing it in a way that people would normally be able to tell. She dies from dust and pollen allergies. Dun dun dun! Now I won't feel like attending a tea party without a dark cloud hanging over them, which is why it all depended on things turning out okay.
なんとかバイオリンの試験パスできたみたいですね。
Yes.
まあな。正直、課題曲のガボットを弾くのは相当苦労したぜ。
I would actually like to know what that song sounds like as well. Because it's a classic. You probably have heard it before in your life, but I have no idea what that is. Gavot. Gothic Gavot. I completely mistyped that. Hold on. Hold on. I feel like Flowers does have a little bit of a same face syndrome, not gonna lie. It obviously doesn't help that they're all wearing a school uniform. Oh. Those are some really fast parts for a beginner to play. I'm not sure how well that goes. Attractive and ugly bastard, true. Okay. I have actually not heard that before. It doesn't sound familiar to me at all.
ガボット聞いたことない曲ですね。
ゴセック作曲のバイオリン曲なんだが、多分聞いたらあーってわかると思う。
ですか。
I'd look over to my MIT partner, the one who taught me that in the first
つ
place.
まらなそうにしてやがるな。
Nagasaki's sipping at her tea by herself, a little removed from everyone else. Even if she doesn't usually attend the tea parties, it's still unusual for her to be this antisocial. As I think this, the elder Sasaki sister leans into me, her shoulders slumped and her face drained of color. What's up?
おい、来やすいぞ。
ようやく蓮舫の試験に合格した私をねぎらってよ。
Oh, you
ず
did
っ
it!
と繰り返しダメ出しされて泣きそうだったんだもん。
It does change over time, yeah. It's nice to see. Like, the subtitle for the games is very true. They do grow with the season. Like, remember how Suo was at the beginning? Suo is already growing, and Erika is already growing, and we're not even done with this game yet.
確かにあれは同情するがね。
Now that the etiquette and the music exam was a one chance only sort of deal, we could restart as many times as we needed to. But even though restarting from the beginning was an option,
大昔のゲームソフトみたいだったものな。
potted plants do be growing. If you give them water and good care. I'm at the weekly.
どういうことです？
終わりがないってことさ。私もだいぶやり直しをさせられたからな。
To be fair, even just one full minute of a song on an instrument that you're not used to, that you just started to learn, is a long time. I let out a little sigh as I remembered the pressure of performing the gavotte in front of Sister Basquiat. Ichigo pilfers her sister's donut and bites into it like it's the most delicious thing in the world.
糖分が脳に
Donuts would be nice.
合格祝いということで許しますよ。でも意外ですね。八重垣ちゃんはゲームとかやらない人だと思ってました。
Enjoy your din din. Probably because of the way I've talked about them before. I mean, I'm not sure I'd call myself a gamer, but...
ま、たしなむくらいはやったかな。
Ho!
姉が割と好きで。
Erika pro gamer
その兼ね合い
when?
でね。
お姉さんがいたのですね。でも羨ましいですよ。
何が？
Ningu leans forward and sticks her finger into the middle of the donut on her sister's plate before hooking it up and stuffing it into her tiny mouth.
私としてはゲームをやってみたかったんですけどね。おばあ様が許してくれなかったのですよ。
へえ、お前の家いいところっぽいものな。
そうそう、人を殺したりするゲームとか良くないって許してくれなかったよね。
Looking at the elder Sasaki twin, her cheeks stuffed with donut, I cannot help but laugh as I recall my own elder sister's arguments with our mother.
どうしたの？
いや、同じことを姉も言われてたなと思ってさ。だけど、そっちの祖母と同じことを言った母に姉は、絶対にそんなことないわよって言ったんだ。
でも、そんな一言じゃ聞いてくれなくない？
ああ、だから続けて。私、男の子を攻略していくゲームをたくさんしたけど、一度も彼氏できたことないもの。
My sister declared how that proved there was no relation between the two. I chuckle as I recall how wide my mom's eyes had gotten and the Sasaki twins giggle too.
なんだか楽しそうね。
Hi!
身内の恥ずかしい話を披露したところだよ。委員長は試験は
It is a really big brain move, not gonna lie.
なんとか合格したわ。
She answers modestly.
アミティエの高崎さんも第二外国語合格したようだしよかったわね。
あいつにも取り柄がある。
4D chess.
見た目よりも頭がいい。
それって初めはダメだって思ってたってことじゃない。
She responds cynically. I gaze at my métier partner who's still sipping on her iced tea in stony silence.
一応羽を伸ばしに来たってことかね。
ああ、そうそう。羽を伸ばすで思い出したけど、スオさんがみんなへ提案があるそうなの。
The president beckons to her and Shirahana gracefully gets to her feet.
以前、コミカド先輩から秘密の泉の場所を教えてもらったことがあるの。今度の安息日にそこへ行くというのはどうかしら。
Oh? Shirahana makes a suggestion and my classmates all agree that it sounds like fun.
水遊びですか。楽しそうですね。
Secret natural pool. You tell the entire class about it. Not so secret anymore.
ねえ、八重垣ちゃんも行くでしょ？
If you were a skimpy swimsuit. In reply to the excited twin, I say.
それじゃあ、際どい水着を着てくるなら言ってやるよ。目の保養だ。
水着か。
No? Red blushes blossom across her cheeks, but then her expression quickly becomes troubled.
仲良くなるためには同じ釜で食べ、お風呂に入って裸の付き合いっていう
Where did
し。
What kind of saying is that?
際どい。やはりセパレートのものでないとダメですよね。
おい、冗談だぞ。
They both look up at me simultaneously.
委員長のような本格派じゃないんだ。同性の水着なんか
Are
見て
you
も仕
sure
方ない
about that? I tell them I'll pass on this one,
い
but
いじゃな
then
い。
I hear a cool voice behind me.
水遊び、私も参加したいわ。
Da da!
お前絶対こういうの好きなタイプじゃないだろうが。
私の何を知っているっていうの？
The president, the Sasakis, and everyone else is staring at my MET partner in astonishment. I'm in the same boat as them. What is she thinking?
アミティが参加するのだもの。エリカも参加するわよ。ねえ。
いや、泳げないし無駄じゃ。
雰囲気だけでも楽しめるでしょ。 いつも文句を言わず解除してくれる私をねぎらいなさい。
It's a very firm argument and I'm about to answer it when
恩知らずにはなりたくない。
she delivers a finishing blow. All I can do is nod. Dun, dun, dun. Not all of our classmates take part in the excursion to the lake. The timing of it overlaps with our summer vacation. We're granted just a few days to visit home. Because of the short time frame, those students who live far from the academy have remained at the dorms, while the other half of the class have returned home. And of the half staying behind, it's only the few who think splashing around at the lake sounds like fun who have sneaked out. That's true.
お茶会での経緯を知ってるだろうが。
I grumble to the president who's pushing my wheelchair.
こんなに暑い中、延々と森の中を行きたくないって話だよ。
We should get you, like, in a sun umbrella.
だから私が推しているでしょ。
それでも暑いのは変わらないだろうが。お前は家に帰らなくてよかったのかよ。
Unexpected Final Fantasy XIV reference? Where?
私は家が遠いから戻ってもほとんど休めないし、それにみんなで水遊びって素敵じゃない？
そうかね。私は寮でゴロゴロしてたかったよ。とある漫画家音体も大物は寸暇を惜しんで寝るものだって言ってたしな。
The press laughs. I guess she thinks I'm joking. She takes a second to check that there's no one getting too far ahead of the group or lagging behind.
でもみんな参加してくれてよかったわ。
ま、女は縦じゃなくて横のつながりだからな。
Was born for right, yeah, okay. I kind of stand outside all of that myself, but I suppose I had been scared of being left out. Also,
お前らも参加してることは驚きだけどな。
何が驚きなのですか？そうだよ、遊びに行くって言ったじゃん。
the elder Sasaki sister declares that she'd take over pushing my wheelchair and takes the handlebars from the president. She starts pushing at a faster pace and the chair jolts as she mows straight over any pebbles in our path. Her personality shines through even in this.
お前らは家に戻ると思っていたよ。
初めはそのつもりだったけど、みんなと一緒の夏はあと2回しか巡らないと思うともったいない気がしたのですよ。
Just 2 more summers, huh? Takasaki and Shirahana are walking about 5 paces behind us. From time to time, Shirahana says something to my tea partner who looks extremely grumpy.
春頃には考えられない光景だよな。
The unlikely, no, nigh on unimaginable side of my introverted bookworm body taking the lead in talking to someone. Shirahane. She's had to endure a lot of pain, but perhaps that was necessary to help her grow as a person. Grow.
らしくない考えをめ。
I ignore the Sasaki sister's bewildered looks and turn back toward Takasaki.
機嫌悪そうだな。
I call out to her loudly.
面倒なら戻ってバレエの自主練でもしてたらどうだ？
楽しみにしていると言ったでしょ。
Even though she hasn't raised her voice, her tone is rapier sharp.
なんで家に戻らないかね。
I guess she has her reasons, same as me. I look at her, her eyes narrowed into what seems like a glare, and sigh to myself. Ooh, we arrive at Shirahana's secret pool.
思ったよりもいいところじゃないか。
This is nice. The greenery is lush and verdant, and though the summer sun is still beating down hard, the pool looks shallow and perfect for swimming. There's also a boat moored to the little jetty.
もしかして秘密のデートスポットだったりしてな。
Mikado-senpai had built it as a secret natural pool. Perhaps that's the reason it's kept secret. I wipe away my sweat and quickly make my way across to the shade of a tree. A sigh of relief escapes my lips as I enter the tree's shadow. Cool air caresses my neck. Despite the heat, it's not too humid. This area is a popular summer resort with people looking to escape the sun, and if you can find some shade, it's really quite pleasant. I'm starting to relax
怪我ない
when
の？
someone addresses me from behind. I turn around. I accidentally let out a weird garbled noise.
何？どうしたの？
いや、まさか下着姿とは思わなかった。大胆だな、おい。
八重垣ちゃんが野獣のような目で見てる。 やはり八重垣ちゃんは選ばれし人間だったのですね。
誰が委員長と同類だって。
I regard the twins verily. They're both wearing the standard school issue underwear, putting aside the completely unsexy.
お前らを見ると落ち着くな。
なぜか腹立たしさを感じる視線ですね。そんなに生温かい目で胸を見られたら嫌でも気づくって。
Confirming that the little houses on the prairie aren't so different to mine and not a satisfaction.
もう着替え終わったの。早いわね。
Oh, Erika, why are you like this? As says, approaching us. She's fine. In fact, she's in the same boat as us. However,
気持ちのいい風が吹くわね。
when I see my bookworm buddy strolling towards us with the president, I feel the pain of the have-nots versus the haves.
同じ年でこんなに違うもんかね。
You really they're really gonna go in there in the school issue underwear? You guys don't have swimsuits?
どうしたの？
Shinahana bends over like she's talking to a child, giving me an eyeful of her frustratingly mountainous twin. Both of my sisters and my mother are very slender. It runs in the family. I know there's nothing I can do about it, but I can't stop a black hole of jealousy from gaping open within me at that sight.
どうしたの、八重垣さん。何か心配事でもあるの？
Yeah.
自分の将来に。女は14歳くらいで成長が止まるって言うけど、あれは上背だけだよな。
何があったの？ずいぶん暗い顔をしているけど。何か将来に関わることで悩みがあるそうなの。そう。ねえ、八重垣さん。
She takes hold of my shoulder and gives me a firm shake, and I come out of my reverie to find Pressa's face looming in on mine.
将来のことに思いを馳せるのは素晴らしいことだけど、気にしすぎるのはダメよ。
Please go and change,
何
Wilson. Please
事も
never
中庸
change.
がいいのよ。
I wouldn't want her any
同
other
類のお
way.
前に言われたかないよ。
Seeing the president blink at me in confusion brings me back to my senses, and I apologize. I take her comments rather differently.
八重垣さんは着替えないの？
I suddenly have the sadistic urge to put my bookworm body on the spot after she forced those envy-inducing Twin Peaks into my field of vision.
それじゃあ脱がせてくれよ。
脱がせ。
そうだ。お前の手で脱がしてくれってことだよ。解除だ。できるだろ？
I lift my arms up encouragingly. Her cheeks flush scarlet and she practically stumbles backwards.
どうした？ほら早く。
そんなこと恥ずかしいわ。
解除だって。何も恥ずかしがることなんてない。
I look to her for support and she nods, her face bright red. I lower my arms.
冗談だって。気が向いたら自分でするさ。
I turn my feline smile on her, leaving her baffled. You are so mean. Oh, point of view change? Yep. The shadow of let's try it again when I can actually see the text. The shadows of the leaves sway across the ground. Big shadows and small shadows, deep shadows and soft shadows. So many different shadows, all moving individually. Faced with the sudden visual overload, I narrow my eyes. The sunlight filtering through the canopy above paints strange patterns on the ground. I stare down at my feet, wondering if this is what true art is. The way they sprawl and distort makes me feel ill. I'd be happy just knowing which is the real deal, the natural or the man-made. Why did I come here? Because I gaze at my métier partner in the distance, surrounded by our classmates. Because of my métier partner, who reminds me so much of that girl. I started calling her Erika because of the resemblance too. Just what is it about them that I find similar? The total opposites in terms of personality. It's not as though they look alike either. The wind tussles my hair and the branches of the trees are thrown into disarray. Shadows grow and shrink, but by turns getting darker and lighter. Seeing before me contours like it's closing in on me, and I shut my eyes. For some reason I can hear my old ballet teacher's voice echoing in my head. My hands go limp and my notebook slips from my grasp. I pick it up from where it drops at my feet and flip through it. Without it, I wouldn't be able to tell what I like and don't like. All those times I faked illness hoping my parents would pay me some attention. Even the ballet was an attempt to get them to turn and look at me. Who am I? The smell of the grass, the scent of the water, the swirling patterns underfoot, enclosed by the swaying shadows, I feel terribly light. Ignoring the hollow feeling in my chest, I turn the pages until I come across words I didn't write and stare at them in bewilderment. Notes in Italian, our second language, are scribbled on the page. I turn to the next page and find written in a neat hand notes and areas that might come up on the test and the correct answers to questions that are easy to get wrong. They're all explained in a clear, legible fashion. Nauseous from the undulations of the leaves, I finally become aware. Aware of the feelings for Erika that burn inside me, feelings quite unlike the childish emotions I direct towards my parents or the dependence I felt for her, for the girl who idolized me unconditionally. Do any of our characters not have emotional baggage? Like, several suitcases of emotional baggage?
童心を取り戻す。
私はゴジラ対モスラが好き。
わかってるな。姉はリバイバル版の方がいいって。
Shinahana pulls her face like she's just bitten down on a lemon, and the uncharacteristic expression makes me laugh.
だよな。
The president then taps her on the shoulder and leads her into the shade of a tree a short distance away.
なんだよ。乙女の語らいを邪魔する気か？
乙女のする会話じゃないでしょ。
I'm not sure I have an answer to that. I watch for a while as she speaks in a low voice with Shinahane.
中身をした方が。そうね。私。
After they've exchanged a few words, Shinahane glances in my direction and departs. The president comes back to join me in her place. They can't grow if they don't overcome trauma approach to writing. I mean, it's a valid approach to writing.
お話ししましょう。
I just find it funny when, like, you think, okay, our love interest definitely has something going on with her. We don't get to see it at all, and then suddenly they just sneak it in, little by little. The way she says that sounds highly suspicious.
心を閉ざしたサナトリウムの少女じゃないんだぞ。
そんなつもりはないわ。ただ最近八重垣さんとお話ししていないなって。
試験勉強があったからな。ブレインとしては試験落とせないものな。
脳がどうしたの？
My comment was naturally based on my understanding of the class's hierarchy, but the president just blinks at me, obviously unaware of our positions in it. I let slip a small sigh of resignation and cast around for another topic.
怪獣映画だが、委員長が好きなや
That's
つは。
maybe the only exception. Well, even the twins get a little bit of. I mean, they actually had a pretty big moment in the first game. You know, the entire plot point about them switching, one of them hiding and the other one switching out for her. In the second game, they don't really get lots of focus, and I mean, in the third game, they do get a bit, depending on where you go.
何？
いや、すまない。無理を言うところだったよ。
President tilts her head at me, her braids trembling.
なんだって。
I feel a tap on my shoulder and let out a strange squeak when I see my mature partner, who has at some point gotten changed. No, undressed. She's standing there in her underwear.
水遊びしたいのよね。
あ？何を言って。
したいのでしょ？
She looms over me, the scent of peaches is overwhelming. She moves closer, though she's not considerate enough to crouch down to talk to me like Shidahana does. Her cleavage, even more ample than my bookworm body's, fills my vision. I flush all over at the sight.
近いんだよ、お前は。
I shout, trying to cover up my blushes, but she pays me no heed. She quickly moves behind me and motions for me to put my hands up.
ああ、西部劇ごっこか。お前、年いくつだと。
We just know that she has some problems with her family, but I feel like most of that just stems from her feeling like she's a burden on them or something. But we don't actually get more information on that, as far as I remember, at least.
同い年でしょ？
She forces my arms up just as she does when she's assisting me. With everyone else watching from the sidelines, my defenses are obliterated and I must endure a total rout. My clothes are forced off, and then I find myself scooped up into her arms, only to be plonked down by the water's edge. Get away from me, you witch! I'm angry, but I swallow it down, because I see the way Takasaki's gazing into the distance beside me.
何か話したいことがあるんだろうが。
Perhaps it's an overly favorable interpretation on my part, but I wonder if she's trying to apologize in her own clumsy way. The way she's knitting her brows together is very familiar, as is the way she's pursing her lips.
こいつに自分を見てるなんざ。
水遊び楽しんでいるかしら。
かなり強引に誘われはしたが、まあ楽しんでいるよ。
そう。
After this brief exchange, we fall silent again. It feels weird having my feet immersed in the water like this. It could be a scene out of a horror movie or a romance novel. But this is the first time I've had my feet in warm water outside of the bath. It's actually really uplifting as well as being kind of ticklish.
これだけ水温が高いなら、泳いでも気分良さそうだな。
泳ぐ。
言っただけだ。足がつかない場所で水に浸かるなんざ、ゾッとしないぞ。
Takasaki makes her stand up and I hold her back. She complies with me so obediently that I can't help but smirk. If I were to tell her to get naked right now, I wonder if she might not do it. These are very normal thoughts to have, Erika. Oh yeah, she really does whatever I tell her to do. I wonder if she would get naked. Yeah? Yeah? She stares solemnly down at the surface of the water, watching as it glitters in the sunlight.
お前は。
The light reflecting off the water plays against her face, and I find myself staring spellbound at her handsome features.
お前は黙っていた方が可愛い。
And you keep putting your foot in your mouth!
そう。
Usually she'd come back with something sarcastic or flare up at me, but this time she just continues staring at the water. It's kind of disconcerting. I feel like I should start a conversation and consider talking about the weather today, or fashion, or launching into a comedic anecdote.
そういえば、少し前のことだけどな。小腹が減ったんで、厨房へ食料を失敬しに行ったんだよ。
I settle on the anecdote.
いつもは調理人に分けてもらうんだが、その時は誰もいなかったんだ。
Putting your foot in your mouth, like when you say something.
何か食べられるものを
It's a
探した
saying!
んだよ。
Hold on. Say something foolish, embarrassing, or tactless. For example, Dane put her foot in her mouth when she called him by her first husband's name. You know when you... That's a saying. And I actually used it correctly, I think. She doesn't respond but appears to be listening.
で、冷蔵庫の中を漁ってたら、ステンレスのボウルにみじん切りした玉ねぎがラップされて置かれてあってさ、そのラップの上にレモンが置かれてあったんだよ。もうお前を泣かせたりはしないってさ、冗談に気づいて大笑いしちまったよ。
Someone must have felt bad for the cook who repairs our dinners every night and cut up the onion for her. I go on to tell her how my outburst of laughter had led to Joe Mother discovering me and how I then got a giant scolding. However...
反応なし。
Oh. Where does someone put their hand to? I don't know. I only know where you put your foot. The Sasaki sisters are always interrupting my conversations, and Yasuhito-senpai has an uncanny habit of popping up unexpectedly. But where are they when I need them?
風が出てきたわね。
そうだな。
Takasaki finally speaks, but I can't think of anything to say to her in return.
白羽の口下手が映っちまったか。
I think of my bookworm body and how hard she worked to make friends despite finding it such a struggle, and it strikes me now how impressive an endeavor that was. I'm not capable of the same.
何？
いや、
I remember how at the end of the case of the disappearing bunnies, when I'd announced who the real culprit was, I said you couldn't perform a handshake with just one hand and had held my own hand out.
どうにも遠く感じるな。
I muttered to myself, then, copying Takasaki, I too glared down at the annoyingly sparkly water. Annoyingly? You guys cannot enjoy anything! I wanna go swimming. They're trying to keep the conversation going, not being... They're both so awkward about it. Looks like a fail. Although I can't hear what they're saying from this distance, I can read it from the movement of their lips and the expressions on their faces. Push my chair over to the president, twirling her braids around with a deeply troubled look and my frowning bookworm body.
英国王のスピーチのつもりか。
I'm tempted to put this to my bookworm buddy, who's obviously treating this like some sort of therapy session. However,
高崎さん、少しいいかしら。
I can tell her to just drop it when, out of the goodness of her heart, she's come up with a second makeup plan for us. Instead, I speak to the press, who's playing with her braids awkwardly.
なんで人のためにあんなに一生懸命になれるのかね。白羽だよ。別にあいつと私の仲違いなんていつものことだろ。
Yeah! She mutters her agreement, but then affectionately watching the two of them talking over by the boat, she continues.
きっと理由なんてものはないんだと思う。
ただのおせっかいってことか。
She sure is.
ええ、スオさんは自分を捨てて他人を心配できる人なの。
So the family
私も
therapist.
それで救われた。
Yeah! She smiles broadly, and I find that I can't say anything in response. I think the same goes for me, however.
人と人との間に線を引く私には耳が痛い話だな。
You do. I look over at the Sasaki sisters, who at some point managed to draw closer to me, and Hanabishi, who's always trying to help me out, as well as Shirahane and Takasaki, who are now walking this way.
なんで得意げな顔なんだよ。
白羽さんはいい人だわ。
She says it with such a composed expression I almost want to burst out laughing. Shirahane also blinks in surprise at her frank words.
提案があるのだけど。
Oh.
言ってみろ。
She raises her hand like Lincoln delivering the Declaration of Independence and points to the boat moored by the shore.
ボート遊びがしたいわ。
Oh.
すればいいだろ。
エリカも一緒によ。
The words are delivered as sharply and directly as a katana being drawn, and all I can do is nod. Oh, wow, you didn't even object.
ボートなんて初めて乗ったわ。
I immediately take issue with the casual revelation of the truth as my Michi partner lies back and stares up at the blue sky.
お前、仕事で何回か経験があるから任せてって言っただろうが。
嘘よ。初めて乗るなんて言ったらついてこないでしょ。
Yeah, no shit. I glare out of the corner of my eye. She flashes me a rare smile in return.
湖の真ん中で妙な笑顔を向けるな。怖いだろうが。
大丈夫よ。突き落として見殺しになんかしないわ。
Okay, that's good to know. She doesn't usually make jokes, and this sends a little chill up my spine. I remember that popular ghost story about a young couple whose child drowns in a boating accident. They have another child, and one day when they're boating again, it turns to them and says, "Don't drop me this time." Even at the best of times, I'm no good with huge mountains I can see past, or deep seas where I can't make out the bottom. Of course, the same goes for a deep dark lake like this. Kasaki smiles, perhaps having sensed my unease.
この湖を深い緑色の湖面を見て思い出したことがあるの。スティーブン・キングの映画よ。
Oh.
クリープショーの殺人イカダだろ。こういうタイミングで思い出すんじゃねえよ。
It's a film about some teens under attack from a mysterious killer algae. It seems she's been brushing up on her 80s pop culture like I told her to, but it's an unwelcome reference given our current situation. In the short movie, there's a scene with someone sprawled out sunbathing on a raft just like we are right now. I look over at Takasaki, who's still smiling creepily.
行きたいって騒いでいた水遊び。
Good thing I have not seen
堪
that
能でき
movie.
たかい？
I changed the subject.
ええ。泳ぎはしなかったけど、森林浴ができて
No,
満
this
足
is
しているわ。
this is good. This is wholesome. There's no one getting a Viking funeral.
この暑いのに森林浴もないもんだ。泳ぎはしなかったって。
She doesn't respond to my taunt and instead glances down at her chest.
自慢かよ。
ああ、そうじゃないわ。泳いでないって言葉で思い出したのよ。胸、また大きくなってないかって。
I am unsure whether I see the correlation, but okay, go off. Hi, weird. Good evening. The gay girls, they sure do be gay. Yeah. What? What is she saying? What is she saying? Let her a cook, but also what?
へえ
I'm
そいつ
good,
は
I'm
宣戦布
good.
告としてみなしていいっ
How are
て
you?
ことだな
Bruss.
何を言っているの？
No, you very much
バ
can't
レエ
say
では
that.
邪魔だからこれ以上はいらないって話よ。
見栄えが悪くなるってやつか
I recall some info I'd learned from my eldest sister.
胸が大きすぎると晒しを巻いたりするって聞くものな
ええ、まだそこまでではないけど気をつけているの。
Full legend of
それ
some
と
sort?
肌を焼かな
Okay.
いようにね。
Whatever it is, definitely lost on me. You're doing okay, I'm glad to hear it. She rubs her arm as she says this. She must have applied sun cream earlier.
もともと色黒だった場合も衣装で開いている胸元とか二の腕とかを化粧で白くしてごまかすとかも聞いたことがあるな
When I tell her it doesn't look like she needs it, I think I see her smile. It could just be my imagination, though.
ま、水遊びよりこういう場所に来たならキャンプの方に触手が動くね以前やった収穫祭みたいにバーベキューなんかもいい
キャンプ、私も一度くらいなら経験してみたいわ。
お前はキャンパーというよりグランパーってな具合になりそうだな
She asked me what glamping is, and I
キャン
respond.
パーもどきのことだよ Wi-Fi を使って自然と親しむってやからのことさ何しに来たんだおい
You wanna go
手な具合で
camping?
ね
No.
必ず軽口を言うのよね。
The gaze isn't exactly irritated, but it's definitely reproving. I shrug and fall silent. The sky is a bright shade of blue. Every so often a lone cloud drifts by. The only sounds are the warbling of the birds from the shore and the soft creak of the boat as it rocks in the water.
ノ
Until...
ート、
What?
あ
Oh, right, the notes we left in there. God, we also suck.
私のノート。
Well, I wish...
勝手に書いたでしょ。
to some extent, I wish I still liked camping, but... It's if you have to do a thing you don't actually enjoy much too often, you start to dislike it. So... Her tone is a mix of discomfort, anger, and confusion. I nod even as I regret my out-of-character actions.
勝手に私物に触っちまったな
Lighter is useful when you're in the middle of nowhere. Well, assuming it actually works when you're in the middle of nowhere. Depends on what kind of middle of nowhere you're out at.
いいのよ。怒
I
っ
do
てい
not
るわけ
know.
じゃないの。
My speech, I think my speech module is broken today. There's nothing I can say to that. I'm the one who told her not to touch the books on my shelf when we first started sharing a room. Takasaki glares up at the clouds for a moment, then turns her face to me as though she's finding the silence awkward. Her eyes bore into me. Her face is flushed red to the tips of her ears. She opens her mouth nervously.
今まで意固地になっていてごめんなさい。
You for the hydrogen.
それと、ありがとう。
You're welcome.
何よ。
いいよ
Usually this is when I'd start thinking over things like how Shirahana's deductions are always on the mark, or how she must have some kind of ulterior motive.
気にしてないさ
Also, thank you for the posture check. And I will save my game and thank you for the pad.
Ow! One times after all, it's like the opposite of something. The Marie Antoinette movie, where you have those behind the scenes pictures where they're holding phones and tablets and stuff.
Yeah, good crags.
Sun is sitting on today. Yeah, they should be careful. I don't think it's very safe to be lying out there on a boat where the sun is hitting you, like, all the time. She's... And my phone is already dying. It's always the same thing. She's so easily crossed every line I draw between myself and other people, and my mind isn't functioning properly.
よかった。今日ここへ来たのは、それだけ言いたかったの。
Oh! I'm envious of her ability to be so forthright. It's not something I'm capable of, or am I?
私も約束破っち
You
まって
can.
悪
You are very much capable of saying sorry. That's a good step. Erika.
今謝って。
私が謝ったなんて誰にも言うなよ。
I grind out the words, but for some reason she smiles happily at them. It's not a sight I see too often, and I find myself entranced by it. Despite the fact that she's built walls around herself to keep others out, just like me, here she now is, flashing me this totally unguarded girlish smile.
歌が聞きたい。
I'm crossing a line of my own here, I know that.
いいわ。
She does as I ask, no sarcastic comments, no cool retort.
ねえ、夢でまた会えますようにそっと願う花膨らむつぼみ胸に抱いた
That song which I once
初
found
め
so
て
sad.
のこと揺れる微熱
いい曲だな。
It's a good song. Now shines brightly into the core of my being like the rays of the summer sun. Now if only someone would put actual subtitles on. This is like the second time. I know it's only a very short section, but please put a subtitle if it's a voice thing that is not in
グリ
text.
ム童話に惚れおばさんと呼ばれる一編がある。
Modern fashion, modern music. Oh, okay. Haven't seen it.
とある家に醜く怠け者の娘、そして美しく働き者のママ子がおり、親は実の娘を可愛がり、ママ子には辛く当たっていた。ある日ママ子は井戸で糸巻きを洗っていたが、うっかり落としてしまう。母に告げるも取ってくるように命じられ、途方に暮れてしまった。思い余ったママ子は井戸に身を投げ、そのまま気を失ってしまう。ふと気がつくと、ママ子は美しい草原に立ち、歩み行くと一軒の家にたどり着く。そこは惚れおばさんと呼ばれる者の家であった。初めて人として扱われ、幸せに奉公をする。しかし家が恋しくなったママ子はそのことを惚れおばさんに
In
告
the
げると、
backlog? Okay, good to know.
ママ子が落とした糸巻きを返し、奉公した褒美として黄金を身にまとわせ、ママ子を家へと戻させたのだ。大金持ちになったママ子に嫉妬し、実の娘に同じことをするよう黄金を褒美として持ってこさせようとするも、もともと怠け者気質の娘が奉公できるわけもなく、罰として一生取れることのないコールタールまみれにされ、家に帰されてしまう。物語は分かりやすい偶話。正直者はいつか報われるという帰結だ。しかしこの世の常として正直者が報われるという保証はない。どれほどまっとうに生きていても、他人を気遣える優しさを持つ者でも、報われることのない望みというものは存在する。これから始まる物語は、正直者として生きた対価を得ようともがく道家たちのお話。
This is a fairy tale we always reference. Yeah, Valhalla. I'm not sure if that's a regional thing, but here, you know, when it snows, we say that Valhalla was hard at work again. Like if it snows a lot, because obviously Erica didn't go into detail here, but that fairy tale, when the hardworking, when the stepfather, you know, she cleaned the place, she did like basically housework at Frau Holle's place as well, and she did a really good job. So whenever she fluffed out the pillows, she would fluff those out, and then it would start snowing in the real world, stuff like that. So whenever it really snows here, I was like, Holle's hard at work, and that kind of thing. I'm not sure if it's a regional thing, but like where I'm from, we definitely say that. I was saying it didn't put subtitles in the first one. I seemed like it had a relevant meaning. That's not good. Not gonna lie. I'm always a little sad when anime that have, you know, songs used in them just don't get translated anymore. When I remember the like old fan translations where they would put both like Romaji or like entire karaoke versions so you could sing along with it and translations in it. I wish we could go back to that, but nowadays it's like, oh, the episode literally just aired and you need to have the subtitle version up like an hour later. And it's like, maybe give the people time to actually watch the episode and then put subtitles on it slowly and still actually pay them for it. No, simulcast, I think. No, okay. Won't be able to add English subtitles for these voice bits if they don't already exist in the game because all the stuff is hard coded. Yeah. Coding issues. It is a native language, sadly. Very true, very true. I mean, this just now was understandable enough. Something that it's a nice song is what Erika said to her. Oh, wait, what happens if I scroll up? Can I go up, Alpha? No corridor? No. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does say. It's a lovely song, Chidori. I was close enough. I only said it's a nice song. The air is hot and the sun beats down mercilessly, despite it being the end of August. The sun continues to rage as fiercely as before, as though it's determined to make us girls bare ever more skin.
まんま北風と太陽だよな。
The stink of sweat fills my nostrils to the point that I can't even taste the green tea I brought with me to fend off dehydration. The iced tea in my thermos isn't any better either. There's no real reason for me to be participating in ballet class to the point that I'm on the verge of melting,
お
but
水もらえるかしら。
the lesson ends and my tea partner comes over to me, wiping her sweat away with a towel. I hand her my flask.
ありがとう。
She's grown quite meek, and I've become a familiar figure on the sidelines since she started dragging me along.
暑いのにご苦労さんだな。見ているだけでバテちまうよ。
体調が優れないならバスキア教諭に話してこれから見学は控えるように言ってきましょうか。
You're the one who's forcing me to come. That's what I think to myself, but I grab hold of the hem of my tea partner's skirt to stop her as she turns to head in Sister Basquiat's direction.
いよいよとなったら私から言うさ。だから大丈夫だ、千鳥。
First, thanks! Right! She said Chidori earlier as well, I didn't even realize. She looks at me bashfully. Ever since our time on the boat together, I've switched from calling her Takasaki to Chidori.
ずっとお前でもなんだしな。
Woohoo! We're getting there! Slowly, ever so slowly. But out of respect for the fact that, like, Sister Basquiat, she's taking care of me. No, it's more that just as Chidori has invited me across the boundary she drew for herself, I've also decided to accept her.
やっぱり性悪説だったか。
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
何を言っているの？
I'm about to answer that it's nothing when I feel a soft warm sensation against my back. Conscious of her breath against the nape of my neck, I bop the girl behind me on the head.
汗まみれで抱きつくなよ。そういうのは委員長にしとけ。わかったよ。
She pulls away slowly, then wipes away the beads of sweat trailing from her brow.
同じことをしたら怒られるよ。りっちゃんは潔癖症なんだよ。その言い方だと私が不潔症で汚れに構わない
If evil Erika, then why hot? She laughs, but when she's done, her shoulders slump again in tiredness. I take my flask back from Chidori, offering it to the wilting Sasaki twin.
ありがとう。不潔症の飲み差しでいいならどうぞ。
She ignores my sarcastic remark and gulps the whole thing down. There goes my portion, I guess. Still, class is over now, so I don't really mind.
氷を砕いて入れてたんだ。喉越しにシャリシャリ氷が当たってすごく美味しかった。細かい描写はやめろ。もうないってのに飲みたくなるだろうが。それでは私のお茶をどうぞ。
The other Sasaki twin, I don't know when she arrived over here, offers me a cutely patterned flask. With no reason to refuse, I accept it and take a sip.
いつもの共食いネタか。それが今度の肝ではないのですよ。大垣ちゃんと間接キスを達成しました。 おお、知能犯だねリンゴ。
I return the flask to the young Sasaki, who's blushing and acting coy with an innuendo laden delicious.
それなら姉の方も間接キスとやらだな。もっとも私じゃなく千鳥とだがね。
おお、言われてみればそうか。
Chidori gently strokes a finger across her lips without saying a word. The girlish gesture makes the elder Sasaki blush even harder, and she fails to find any funny comeback.
そろそろシャワーでも浴びてこいよ。さっさと着替えないと注意しに。
Speak of the devil, Press is headed over to us with an odd look on her face, and she's accompanied by Shida-han and Siska Basquiat, who's still in her leotard. Sensing the sudden change in mood, everyone else begins to track them across the room too.
皆さん集まってください。
Oh!
皆さんへご報告があります。
After checking that everyone is present, Sister Basquiat surveys the class before speaking.
皆さんも知っている通り、今度
Oh!
バレエの発表会があります。
She begins. Everyone immediately starts to chatter. This is certainly news to us.
静かに。それで今日は発表会についてですが、
ダリア先生、バレエの発表会があるなんて聞いていません。
あら、そうだったかしら。
She runs her hand through her golden hair, looking confused, before pulling herself together again and continuing.
ともかく1年生の皆さんはヨゼフ座にて発表会を行ってもらいます。
I mean, she is the teacher for like everything we're doing, so I would assume she can.
1年生というと上級生の方は発表会には出られないのですか？
全学年が出たら発表会ではなくバレエコンクールになってしまうわ。
She puts her hand to her mouth to cover a dainty smile, and Shida-han nods, despite looking as consternated as she would having spotted a wonky picture frame on the wall. I share her doubts. Even if the seniors did take part, as long as we didn't compete with them, it would all turn out fine, wouldn't it?
発表会と聞きましたが、個人個人が踊りを披露するのですか？それとも何か一つの劇を演じるのでしょうか？
そのことをちょうどお話ししようと思っていたの。バレエ発表会は個人個人で行うものではないの。舞台を1年生みんなで作り上げるのよ。舞台の演目は眠れる森の美女です。
Upon hearing the name of Tchaikovsky's famous ballet, rather than thinking what a great idea it is, I instead get to wondering if it's perhaps too difficult a selection for beginners. More importantly,
男役がいないしな。
it's not like with our recitation where it was fine for one of us to play the main role. We girls don't have the skills to lift our dancing partners into the air or carry them on our shoulders, so...
ねえ、八重垣さん。
It is!
眠れる森の美女って茨姫のことかしら？
茨姫はグリム童話で、バレエの元になっているのはペロー版の方だ。
Huh. Okay,
だい
never
たい
mind.
グリム童話
Maybe I
の
will
筋通
just
りと
stop
考え
saying
ていいん
anything.
じゃないか？
If Erika's gonna smart as me anyway. This is time for extreme embarrassment, high blood pressure. I mean, I'm glad that they just banter. It feels more realistic that way. You would banter like this with your friends as well without it being like a big thing.
やっぱりそうなんだ。
Yeah, Erika is...
裏方にしてもらえないかしら？
You'd be perfect as Princess Aurora. Perhaps because of her ingrained I'm sorry, what rigidity? Rigidity. Shida-han has not really been improving in ballet.
オーロラ姫なんかハマるんじゃないか？
For a moment, Shida-han grimaces so tensely she looks like she's about to cry.
無理よ。ヨセフ座で披露することを考えたら泣き出してしまいそうになるわ。
そうか。朗読劇の時、威風堂々ってな具合だったけどね。
あれはその八重垣さんが隣にいてくれたから。
She blushes and looks up at me through her lashes, and my stomach does a funny flip-flop. You'd have to be blind not to see that this girl standing beside me possesses a beauty one rarely encounters, even in the entertainment industry Mammy Teapot is a veteran of.
お前自分ってやつを少し考えてから発言した方がいいぞ。
何か気に障ることを言ってしまったかしら。天然のたらしめ。
She looks at me with sad puppy dog eyes, and my heart beats even faster than before. I rub at my hot cheeks with both hands and mutter that Sister Basquiat's looking at us.
ダリア先生、眠れる森の美女を上演するのは分かりましたけれど、
Right?
配役はもう決められているのですか？
Right? Like, oh no, she doesn't weigh a lot. She's somewhere in... How much does she weigh? Like 40 something kilograms? Since this is a Japanese, probably even less. Less than 40 actually, yeah. But even then, that's still an entire human.
そう、今日はそのことも話そうと思っていたの。上演まで時間もあまりありませんか
Lifting an
ら。
entire human is still hard work.
今日から3日後に配役を決める試験を行うわ。
The chatter starts again. However, this time the overall tone is one of excitement.
バレエがやりたくてこの学院に入ったやつもいるって話だし、盛り上がりはするか。
Sister Basquiat gracefully exits the classroom after reminding everyone not to slack off on their practice. After she's gone, the squealing starts.
ねえねえ、盛り上がってきたね。誰がオーロラ姫を演じるのか楽しみですよ。
It's not gonna be out of you two, I tell them dryly. They puff their cheeks out and tell me they don't care anyway.
私的には妖精役がやりたいんだよね。衣装も新しく作るだろうし、羽とかつけたら可愛いよね。
I mean, yeah, you have to, what's the word? How do you say that? Like spread out the weight to lift with your whole body.
私としても同意ですよ。
I guess they're more interested in wearing cute outfits than getting a good role. Twins start chattering together about which roles are likely to have the cutest costumes.
舞台か。久しぶりで楽しみだわ。どんな役を踊らせてもらえるのかしら。
Being a fairy in a Sleeping Beauty? I mean... I don't know about the ballet version, actually. There's definitely fairies in the Disney movie. Several of them, in fact. There's at least 4 fairies in the Disney version of the Sleeping Beauty.
オーロラ姫を狙うっていうものだと思ってたよ。
私は別に主役でなくても踊りがいのある役なら何でもいいの。
She glances over at Chidori, who's taking off her ballet shoes and stowing them in a personal storage bag.
ま、確かに技量的には委員長と千鳥の一騎
Bunch
打
of
ちだよ
fairies.
な。
八重垣ちゃんは高崎さんとりっちゃんさん、どちらが主役にふさわしいと思うですか？
Why not give both of them the main role? One of them the prince and the other one the princess. Obviously, I'm voting for Chidori. Perhaps Chidori overheard the question as she puts down her shoe bag and stares at me, her posture oddly rigid.
答えづらいじゃないかよ、おい。
どちらですか？
そうだな。順当に考えるなら千鳥かな。
よし。
While I wonder about the way she's clenching her fist, I explain my reasoning to Ringo.
技量なら委員長と互角だし、どちらが演じてもいいが。
I glance at my Michi partner who's still staring my way and lower my voice.
鉄面皮のあいつが微笑みながら姫役を演じるのを見てみたいだろ。
That's your reasoning!
それは同意です。でも試験か。何でもいいって言って
Magical
た
Story
け
Fairy
ど、
seems fitting for ballet.
もう
It
踊ろう
does.
かな。私は簡単なものにするわ。間違えないことが重要だと思うの。
The youngest Sasaki and the president nod in agreement with this sound thinking. Chidori, on the other hand, clearly relishes this test as a challenge.
シャワー浴びてくるわね。
Doing everything at her own pace as always, she notifies me of her plans before leaving the classroom with her shoe bag in hand.
ま、 私の分もしっかり踊ってくれよな。
I muttered flippantly to her, retreating back. After the announcement of the ballet test, she throws herself into her practice so intensely that even I found myself telling her to take it easy, despite making it a point not to meddle in other people's business generally. I'm sure even the seniors must be talking about her becoming a permanent fixture in a lesson room during breaks, after class, and every other spare moment of the day. Well, I mean, it's an important thing for her.
いやいや、久しぶりじゃないか。もしかして今から愛しのアミティへのお迎えかな？
I guess gossip about what Chidori's practicing has reached her too. She blocks my way, looking thoroughly amused. The evening sun sets her silver hair aflame.
図書室の帰りですよ。ほら。
I hold up the books I've borrowed.
首を突っ込んでいるわけではないのか。
She murmurs. Noticing my suspicious look, she grins cheerfully.
そうか。道理で料理部に顔を出したらスオ君がいないわけだ。今まで話し込んでこんなに遅くなったということだね。
見てきたように言いますね。
No, keep talking, Yuzumiya. But I can really only nod meekly in response. She's right after all.
しかし、試験を前に委員を優先。我が師はバレエに興味がないと見えるね。
Very true.
苦手だと言ってましたよ。裏方がありならそっちをやりたいって言ってましたしね。
Understandable.
ほう。今度の舞台は眠れる森の美女と聞いたが、スオ君になら妖精や猫の役なんかをやってほしいものだね。
長靴を履いた猫か。
The image of my bookworm body with cat ears and a tail is an adorable one, but it's also a bit much. In fact, it's as boorish as lather and cream or custard over steaming the dessert.
君のアミティアは随分張り切っているようじゃないか。主役のオーロラ姫狙いかい？
I hate this.
千鳥は分かりやすい上昇志向ですからね。学院の行事の一つとしてでなく、自分のステータスにするつもりで参加して。
僕にも挑んできたほどだからね。だが、その息やよしというやつだ。ちなみに、ここ最近は下校時刻まで練習をしているのかい？
I sense something a little off in his last remark, and the image of a cat eared Shirahane disappears from my mind. I watch Yatsushiro-senpai's expression carefully as I nod.
そうか。ま、クラブハウスとは逆だ。関係ないだろうがね。
Zudia destroyed you many times. The third game is a lot emotionally, I feel like. Like, I got over the heartbreak of the first game. I don't actually remember the ending of the second, so I don't know. We're gonna see how that goes when we actually get there, because I feel like I'm forgetting a very big thing that probably also emotionally destroyed me, but the third game really had me by the neck.
何か問題でも。
For lots of it.
いや、それよりもバレエ発表会。八重垣くんは何で参加するのかな？
Because I'm assuming, like, you mean emotionally destroyed. If I'm wrong, just tell me. Although I'm suspicious of the way she's obviously changing the subject, I slap my thigh with a chuckle and tell her there's no way I can dance with legs like these.
佐々木くんたちの鉄板ネタを思い出すね。僕が言いたいのは以前、朗読劇で我が師が脚本を手掛けただろ？同じことを八重垣くんもやらないのかと思ってね。
Oh.
私には無理ですよ。白羽のような知識もない。
I'm decisive, but she hits back.
それは嘘だね。
She leans forward and jabs a finger at me.
バレエ、詳しいのだろ？
そんな。私は今まで嘘をついたことがないのが唯一の誇りなんですよ。
真顔で嘘がつける。君はいいね。スオ君とは違う愛らしさ
Nikumi
が。
does exist. In a perfect world, she would have cat ears all the time. I mean, what?
八代先輩。
先ほど僕が眠れる森の美女の役柄で、スオ君なら妖精か猫の役をやってほしいと言っただろ？それを受けて、八重垣君は長靴を履いた猫とつぶやいた。
So I did. Crap.
普通眠れる森の美女と聞いてその名前は出てこないよ。だがバレエの演目の眠れる森の美女では終盤オーロラ姫の結婚式のお祝いの席に駆けつけるためそれを知っていたから詳しいのだと確信したのさ。
You're too smart for your own good. It's easy to forget it because of her eccentricities, but this is the president of the Council of Nicaea. She's no idiot. I raised my hands in surrender, telling her how my elder sister had studied ballet and had learned all about it by osmosis.
なるほど。なら脚本
Thank you,
振り付けをやったらどうだい？クラスの催しだし参加しなければね。
振り付けなんて責任重大な役目。バスキア教諭が許してくれるわけがありませんよ。こと、キリスト教の教義とバレエだけは厳しいんですからね。
Well, maybe etiquette lessons too. The silver-haired girl before me scratches at her eyebrow and mutters her agreement.
バスキア教諭は君を買っていると思うよ。それに僕も気づいたくらいだ。バレエに詳しいのも察しているだろう。
I can't imagine the ever-serene spacey Sister Basquiat having picked up on it. I dismissed the idea with an exaggerated wave of my hand.
まさか気づいているわけがありませんよ。もし気づいていたなら目でピーナッツを食べてもいい。
Time to eat your head. And so here I find myself having to chow down on my head. Oh, Erika. Erika says anything immediately regrets.
八重垣さん、バレエについてお詳しいのでしょう？今回の演目の振り付けを頼みたいのだけど、どうかしら？
Ooh hoo hoo. It's the day of the test. I've been watching my classmates go up one by one for the selection test. During a break while everyone is rehydrating, Sister Basquiat comes over to me and kicks up a conversation.
以前バレエ云々の話をしましたっけ？
いいえ。でも、高崎さんが初めてここで授業を受けたとき、トーシューズとバレエシューズを2つとも持参したでしょ？
I think back on it and nod.
その時練習の際にシューズを取ってもらえると高崎さんから声をかけられて、八重垣さんは迷いなくバレエシューズの方を手に取ったわ。映画やドラマでの見識なら見知ったトーシューズを手に取るでしょう。でもバレエの知識がある人なら練習にはバレエシューズを使うのを知っていて渡した。そう思ったの。
While it may differ from teacher to teacher, there's an implicit rule that ballet shoes are used when you're just starting out, and you move on to point shoes when you become more proficient. However, since they can get worn out quickly during training, even if you've already moved on to point shoes, it's normal to use ballet shoes during regular practice, reserving your point shoes only for performance rehearsals and the real thing. I don't actually know how you say it. It's probably not point like point because it's a, you know, French word, right?
Point shoes.
Point shoes. You do actually say point. Wow. That's surprising. We're taking a French word and actually just fucking it up. Be the brawn, be the brain.
たまたまってこともあるんじゃないですかね。
それだけならもしかしてだけど、滑り止めの松ヤニを渡した時もかかとに強すぎるのよって言っていたでしょ？
Yeah, but in English you apparently say point.
そうですね。
Point shoes.
松ヤニならシューズの裏に塗るって考える方が当たり前ですものね。
I learned from watching my sister that when performing a lot of intense moves such as the grand... It's common practice to rub rosin on your shoes to keep from slipping. I'm surprised to see her display such perceptiveness. It's almost reminiscent of Shirahane. Actually, to be honest, it's more that I've unwittingly been giving out very obvious hints. But it's not like I was trying all that hard to hide it.
それでどうかしら？私も協力しますし、振り付けをやってみない？
Q is just to let the cue with some random shit at the end. It really is. I had to start an accent to make it real. I'd be too nervous working alongside you.
すげなく断るのも悪いしな。
She She does a lot for me, so I want to let her down gently. I consider my options for a moment, then.
いや、バスキア教諭と一緒ですと緊張して無理ですよ。
There. Flattery is always best.
はい、どうしてかしら？
Are we picking all the butterfly options? Or we're picking the options that are gonna get us the true ending of the game? The only reason that most of them are already pink is because I already chose them before. She just tilts her head at me in confusion, apparently not getting the hint.
協力して振り付けを行うなら
I have played this
刺激的な
game
格好のバスキア教諭とずっと一緒なのでしょ。
many years ago.
こっちの理性が持ちませんよ。
In 2018, when I played it for the first time. No, the computer doesn't remember because it's a different computer than the one I had in 2018. It's just that Steam Cloud Save apparently remembered this game. I did not expect it to do that, actually. I was as surprised as you are. Many years ago, yes. I'm hit with the realization that she's taken my comment the wrong way. I'd expected Sister Basquiat to respond with either a typical middle-aged woman's cry of "oh, you," or some rebuke for failing to take her beloved ballet seriously enough. However,
嫌だわ。刺激的だなんて。
sometimes it is too powerful. I mean, I'm glad it did save it because this way we can immediately get to the true ending because I've already seen every bad end, blah blah blah. We're doing French fencing in the next one? No, they don't do fencing in this series. I'd have to see if I do have a visual novel that features fencing. I couldn't tell you one off the top of my head. Not that it doesn't exist, but I don't think I own one. Actually, let me write that down. I'm gonna have a look see. Fencing. Visual. It definitely is one.
先生。最近太ってしまって。
Someone made an anime of running. It was pretty good.
ください。
Never finished it. I only got to like half of the first season. Had some good characters though. Into fencing, sure. I mean, this one is also not based around ballet. You know which one I'm talking about? It's probably F5. Well, I'm talking about the Kazakh... something. Kazakh... Running with the wind? Run with the wind. Yeah, Kaze ga tsuyuku fuiteru. Oh, the manga's finished. When? Oh, the manga's not even that long. The manga only has 6 volumes. Ah. This is based on a novel. Okay. Yeah, the anime is also finished. Has been finished for a while. I watched it when it initially aired in 2018, but I never like stuck with it. Seeing us squirm in embarrassment like a virginal teenager brings a flush to my own cheeks.
軽口なんだから冗談で返してくださいよ。
I feel like some disgusting pervert as she crosses her arms in front of her like she's trying to protect her ample bosom from my gaze. They're really an object of envy for someone as flat as me.
すみません。冗談が過ぎたみたいです。
Mm-hmm. Anime based on a manga based on a novel, how deep can we go? I mean, that's pretty normal. Apple blossom. Apple blossom. I mean, the most common case is anime based on manga or anime based on novel. And then some cases it's okay, we have a novel first and then it does get some kind of manga adaptation and then that one sells kind of well, so they do make an anime out of it. It's really not... I feel like the more uncommon ones are like weird multimedia projects that start off as like some one-off music video. And then it gets a novel adaptation, and then it gets a manga, and then it gets an entire anime, and yes, that does exist. I'm talking about Kagero Project. Alternate endings are great despite the suffering. They are. I did enjoy Dahlia's ending, though I don't remember it fully. Music video. Kagero Project, it's just called that. Kagero Project is a series of Vocaloid songs made by Jin, the producer. You know, first there were songs, and then they got novels and a manga, and there's also an anime adaptation. You could argue that the anime is, an experience, but it is out there. It does, yeah, sure, but I don't speak Japanese, so I can't tell you. I lower my head, hoping to somehow smooth over the situation. Once I've said sorry yet again and bowed some more, Sister Basquiat finally gives up on trying to persuade me. She gives a signal that break time is over and goes back to the exam. I pass her at a long sigh when I hear a voice behind me and my sigh catches in my throat.
足音を立てずに歩くんじゃない。
はぐらかさないで。
面倒だ。そういうのはもっとマメなやつの仕事だろ。
I mean, yeah, you also have anime that are based on visual novels, games, whatever. Planet. Umineko has an anime. Can't say I recommend the Umineko anime except for the music, but the music for Umineko is always great. Higurashi. So, and also technically they're sound novels, not even visual novels, so like, how deep can we go with the technicalities? Technical, oh, whatever. I like the Planet anime. Kurzai anime. Haven't gotten around to either reading those or watching it. Yeah, fate. Since she knows my personality, she can't really argue against that. She opens and then closes her mouth as though wanting to object. Not wanting her to push any further, I avert my eyes from her.
私はエリカの振り付けで踊ってみたいわ。
One second. One second. She's over the top outside. Listen, you do no. I don't want to hear anything bad about Planet's outside because I really don't see what people mean. It's a very, for its time, definitely fits. I really like it. I think it's quite pretty. Before Rindy and Sylvia and Chris and Punch the story. I also watched the Planet anime way before I ever read the visual novel. There's some parts I actually did enjoy more in the anime because of how they changed it. Especially concerning one specific character who, on her own route in the game, is, you know, on her own. In the anime she was included way more. Because they followed only Nagisa's route, but then tried to include a lot of everyone else that was initially just limited to their own route. Most emotionally moving Erika performance is amazing. Yeah! I'm not gonna do that on stream. Yeah, for real. There's no questionable decision of anime for mobile games. True! Mobile games that get killed off way too quickly. By the time I've returned my gaze to her, it's too late. She's already turned her back to me and is making her way gracefully to where the selection test is taking place.
次は高崎さんね。始めてちょうだい。
Chidori begins dancing, everyone's eyes on her. If you're talking in terms of technique, then of course she's unrivaled. If I had to describe the prowess of her performance, I might say that she maintained a stable axis in all her turns, or that her jumps appeared weightless. But it's difficult to really put her dancing into words. She certainly accomplished those things I just mentioned, but if I were to distill it down to one single thing, it would probably be the fact that I simply couldn't take my eyes off of her. However perfect it is, there's a sense of danger to her dancing that makes it impossible to look away. When she's finished, I don't feel inclined to applaud in awe at how wonderful she was, so much as I'm aware that she stole away my soul, if only for a moment. I were to...
はい、ありがとうございます、花火師さん。
She ends with a reverence amidst the storm of applause.
順当にいけば委員長で決まりか。
Chidori's dancing was certainly above and beyond everyone else's. Still, although she lags behind her a little in terms of overall skill, the president's performance was not to be outdone. And the applause she got also attests to the fact that she has Chidori beat in terms of both stability and expressiveness.
八重垣さんの目から見て主役はどちらになると思う？
I'm more my answer to her question. I'm rooting for the underdog.
砲丸びいきに聞こえるだろうが千鳥かな。
別にどちらも上手だし砲丸びいきだなんて思わないわよ。
I reminded that this is just if the decision were down to me and going to explain my reasoning.
確かに技量だけなら千鳥が上だ。だが危うい感じがするだろう。
Can I come? This is my own stream, I can complain all I want, but can I complain real quick about something that is not about the game? One of my neighbors just gave birth like last week or something, I guess. Her baby is now here, and I guess she's having friends or family or whatever. And apparently since yesterday they decided that, yes, we're going to be sitting in the middle of the courtyard at 9 in the evening to start having a funny little get together and drinking and being merry, which is nice, I guess, but it's the middle of the courtyard and all of us have our windows open because we need some fresh air, and it's at 9 in the evening. Can't you do that at normal times? It's annoying. I'm just glad that the microphone is not picking it up, but I can hear it the entire time. There's just this constant buzz of in my ears. So if there are cigarette buds, then I do not smoke. I don't have cigarette butts. It's not like they don't deserve to also have the time out there, but please. Can't you do that in your own homes? It's like not everyone wants to hear what you're talking about the entire time. Even with my window closed, I can still hear them. I hate it. And then there's the baby. Okay, I get it. You gave birth. Congratulations. Summer. I hate summer. She nods. She must have picked up on it too.
あの危うさと目を引きつける演技は千鳥の表現力の一つだと思うが、悪い面を挙げるなら抑える演技をしていないんだ。
抑えていない。
わかりやすく言うなら、自分の技量より上の技に常時挑戦しているというのか。常に攻めの姿勢なんだな。さらなる完璧を求めす
I
ぎて。
feel like, I don't know, like 10. A 10 is absolutely the latest. It's not 10 yet, but if they're not gone by 10, I think I'm gonna really lose it. Because yesterday it was like 10:30? It's not that I'm asleep by that time yet, but it's just maybe I want to have my windows open without having to hear like everyone else in the business. Because I try to also not have everyone else hear my business at that time in the night. I never start yelling out the window. I don't even, when I listen to music and I put it on speakers, I try to not, like, even then it's like at a volume where it doesn't, where not everyone else is also forced to listen to it if I have my windows open, because the sound carries a lot. I feel bad for complaining about it, but also
から目を引いたのね。
As an aside, I muttered that I personally lack an aggressive approach. However,
まあ千鳥は主役には選ばれないだろう
Max
な。
will unite to both everyone. For sure, for sure. No. No, it's just at some point it's just okay, it's nighttime now. It's evening to nighttime. There's a point where it's just a nice thing to do to not be out and about. So everyone else has to hear you.
どうして？
The reason why Chidori isn't suited to the role of Princess Aurora, why she won't be chosen as the lead.
例えば白羽がフィギュアスケートのコーチになった場合、実力が同程度と仮定して常に全力の選手と8割の力で演技する選手がいたとしたらどちらを選ぶ？
それは全力の選手の方が。
She starts to answer then trails off, realizing what I'm getting at.
な、常に全力っていうのは聞こえはいいが、一発勝負のスポーツの場合、失敗する危険性がつきまとう。だが
I don't hate happy people. I just hate noise that is outside of my control. It's the same thing actually when I'm at work and the phone keeps ringing. Or like not the phone ringing is okay, but like if 3 people are using the phone at the same time, so everyone is having another conversation, everyone starts speaking louder and louder because you're trying to hear the person on your side of the phone, and then but you're like the next desk over there's someone else also using the phone, so it's just constant noise. It doesn't have to be loud necessarily, but it's out of my control. Music I can turn off, right? I can't tell them to just shut up. I'm not gonna do that. There's some of us know what the power will be.
8割の力で戦う選手ならまずまずの成績で失敗は少ないだろう。
I tell her that's exactly right before turning back to where the test is still going on.
まあこれは仕事じゃない。教育の一環だとするなら全力を傾ける生徒の方が望ましいだろうが。
Hey, that's so To sum it up, I guess, maybe. It's just not something I can get into. I trail off and she tilts her head at me, making her ponytail sway. And then there's the other reason.
そもそも眠れる森の美女の主役オーロラ姫はステレオタイプのお姫様だ。純真で天真爛漫。つまり鉄面皮では演技が難しい。
That's a decisive reason she's not right for the part. We thought that in ballet you must always smile, even when the going gets tough. If you let any exhaustion show on your face during practice, you're in for a scolding. When it comes to the actual performance, even if the skin on your feet is rubbed raw, you can't let a shred of pain show in your expression. You force a smile when you have to.
そうね。オーロラ姫は笑顔で踊らないといけない。
Well, Sleeping Beauty's name is Aurora. In the Disney movie as well. The Little Mermaid's name is Ariel, which is actually what the movie is called in German. It's not called Little Mermaid, but just Ariel. I feel... do I know any others? Actually, off the top of my head. Rapunzel's called Rapunzel! Gamma 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 gamma! Wait, what's a full list? Pocahontas is called Pocahontas. I don't know. She does count as a princess. She was featured in Wrecking Ralph as a princess, right? Rapunzel French. Don't ask me why. Ooh. Oh. Hold on. Who actually is part of the Disney princesses? I don't know. Cinderella. Called Cinderella. Belle from... I don't know what the movie is called in English. The one with the beast. Mulan counts as a Disney princess, apparently. Tiana from Moana. Beauty and the Beast, thank you. Shrek. Shrek is our favorite Disney princess. I mean, most of the time they're yeah. Ugh. Anna, Elsa, Tiana, Aurora, Mulan, Ariel, Pocahontas, Jasmine, Snow White, Belle, Rapunzel, Moana, Merida, Cinderella, and Naya. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Haven't seen that one yet. One from Frozen. Yeah, Anna and Elsa. Elena is the one from the animated kids series, though I haven't seen. Oh, is she? Or does she have a full movie as well nowadays? I don't actually know. Official princesses. The official princesses are Jasmine from Aladdin. I don't know how you say it in English. Rapunzel from Rapunzel. Snow White from Snow White. Mulan from Mulan. Moana from Moana, Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella from Cinderella, Pocahontas from Pocahontas, Tiana from I don't know what the movie is called in English. God fucking damn it, hold on 1 second. Princess and the Frog, Rapunzel from Rapunzel, Merida from Merida, and I'm missing someone, hold on. Belle from Beauty and the Beast, Ariel, and Naya from Naya and whatever the movie is called, it's a new one. Mulan is listed here though. On some kind of wiki where it says official princesses, but you know what, I'm not gonna get into the whole official Disney princesses thing or not. She was featured in Wreck-It Ralph in the Wreck-It Ralph 2, the princess scene, so I would count her. It's quite clear both from the outline of the performance and the character herself that there are plenty of scenes where she dances with a smile. Oh, she's not a princess in it all. I mean, they don't have to be princesses. Tiana is not a princess, Laura. I guess she is at the end of the movie. Never mind. Forget what I said. I mean, technically, Elsa's not a princess. She's a queen. So... You know what, let's focus on these princesses. I muttered to myself, turning my gaze back to the earnest performer on stage. I'd expected the parts to be announced tomorrow, but instead Sister Basquiat tells us the results as soon as the test is finished. Why is there a question mark there? Their happy squeals as the main roles are announced. Some girls are clasping their hands together as though in prayer as they wait for their own names to be called. The twins start batting at one another like a pair of kittens in the class laughs. Ooh! And so my feline smile from spreading across my face when I hear that Shirahane, who'd wanted to read behind the scenes, had been chosen to play the cute comical role of Little Red Riding Hood. No, as a at the end of the ballet for the wedding, there's a bunch of other fairy tale characters that come visit. That's part of the actual ballet. According to Erika, at least. And I'm assuming she's right. I've seen the Sleeping Beauty perform before, and in my head I had put Shirahane in the Little Red Riding Hood part. I'm smiling to myself when... Realizing that Sister Basquiat has paused in her announcement, I look back to see her frowning. It's down to the last two roles, and since neither Chidori Takasaki nor Rika Hanabishi have yet been called, they're no doubt both agonizing over which of them has got the lead. Sleeping Beauty, Ballet, Princess, Florine. That's giving me a bunch of videos. Florine, who are you? The royal wedding is on the way. Guests included jewel fairies, diamond, gold, silver, and sapphire, and of course a lilac fairy. Fairy tale characters are in attendance, including Puss in the Boots and White Cat, Princess Florine, and Bluebird, and others. Okay, so he's from a different thing. I have no idea. The Bluebird fairy tale is a French literary fairy tale about Madame I can't say that. Oh, that's a long text. I would give you a short. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I think you're better off if you just look at this. She became the 8th Disney princess and the first one who wasn't actually a princess in her family. She wasn't born of royalty, nor did she become one by marrying a prince. One argument could be made that Pocahontas is still technically a princess and she is chieftain's daughter. Mulan quite literally is not, but is included in the Latin mathematics. Oh no. I'm not sure I know this one actually. It sounds familiar enough, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what that one is about, so... The whisperings over here seem to be slightly more in Hanabishi's favor, but I still hear Chidori's name mentioned plenty.
おかしいと思います。
The evil stepmother stuff in a fairy tale? Yes. Amity partner herself at the heart of this dispute steps forward in front of Sister Basquiat, who still hasn't made up her mind.
花火師さんと比べ、私の方が技量は上です。悩む必要が感じられません。
The whispered discussions come to an immediate halt at Chidori's inconsiderate words, and it looks people are giving her harden. Sister Basquiat looks a little taken aback and admonishes her.
オーロラ姫の役はたくさんの感情表現が必要なの。豊かな感受性とそれを表現できることが重要。
Even if she's able to concede to Sister Basquiat's admonishment, I'll bet some part of her still wants to put up a fight. She grits her teeth and nods. However,
私と花火師さん、もう一度再試験をしていただけないでしょうか。
the thing is just, you can't just outright say, oh, I'm way more skilled than this other person, so you have to choose me. Like, you yourself saying that? Not a good look. Best with Chidori.
高崎さん、花火師さんも構わないわよね。
The president nods reluctantly, caving to the severe pressure Chidori's putting on her.
お願いします。
She pins Sister Basquiat with a sharp but earnest gaze.
わかりました。ではもう一度踊ってもらいましょう。
I'll tell you, She can and she will. She's literally doing it right now. Just like that, Sister Basquiat approves her request for a retrial. The phrase Occam's razor comes to mind. Occam's razor, the principle of solving problems by eliminating every extraneous factor and making as few assumptions as possible, because a simple solution is often the best. It's a way of thinking that matches how I live my life. It's familiar. The simpler your thought processes, the better able you are to live true to yourself. When I think of the retest, I can't help but refer back to Occam's razor. Why didn't I restrain my amitié partner when she requested a retest? When the second round ended in another impasse, and my amitié partner appealed to the hesitant Sister Basquiat for yet another go, why didn't I chide her and tell her to leave it for the following day? After dancing again and again, Hanabishi was visibly exhausted, and did I overlook that the floor was wet from their sweat? There's so many whys and what ifs. This is the complete opposite of Occam's razor, a mountain of useless superstitions. And with them, the regret of why I didn't choose those options. At the moment, Hanabishi leapt into a high chest and no. She slipped. Occam's razor, merciless as ever, severed the thread of fate. That's not nice. I feel like I'm inside a dream. A dream that I've had time and time again. A nightmare, but one I want to stay in. I landed my first lead role in a ballet performance, and my parents had said they would come and see me in it, a rare offer on their part. I put my heart and soul into my practice, hoping to win their favor, and they had pushed that same pressure on a younger girl in the troupe, a girl who absolutely idolized me. I did this even though I knew that she wasn't well, even though I'd heard from the other performers that she had a fever. I'm not gonna get it when it releases, I'm not gonna get the game full price, and because it's gonna be a while until I actually get to it, so. She hung on to every word I said, and I took her for granted. The scene in my dream changes to the day of the performance. I'm flying high after checking from the wings to see my parents sitting in the front row. I don't spare a second thought for the sick younger girl. The ballet is The Nutcracker. I'm wholly immersed in my performance of Clara. We're in the final scene of Act 1. There's no corpse the ballet begin. The girl is... well, she barely registers in my field of vision at all, let alone my thoughts. Would you mind giving me that? As she stands in the walls of the snowflakes. She collapses. She lays there unable to get back up, and I head over to her more in irritation and concern. At the time I had no idea that she would never dance again. It was my fault, all because of the nauseating desire I had to cling to my parents. I'd overlooked the suffering the girl who idolized me was going through. In my dream I put my arms around her and... No one's looking at you. Okay, thank you. There's a voice lingering in my ears as though having recently spoken that isn't usually there in the nightmare. Like it's calling to me softly through my sleep. Although it's coming from inside a dream, the voice has a heat to it like breath caressing my skin, and I bring a trembling hand up to touch my earlobe. My fingers shake as I unconsciously press my palm to my cheek. I feel cold sweat more than I usually awaken to, and I sluggishly wipe my dripping brow. Sweat. Yes, You are... I put myself first and totally ignored my surroundings. Just like the last time up on stage, regret bubbles up inside me and then spreads silently over me like the stillness of the night. Yeah, good job! Good fucking job. A tense atmosphere settles over the tea party's attendees at the appearance of our uninvited intrusion.
私も望まれぬ来訪者なんだろうが。
The cause of the tension is standing beside me, my tea partner, the host of this tea party is Dika Hanabishi. Yesterday, Chidori pushed her to the point of injury. It was just a light sprain, but as she groaned and clutched at her leg, Chidori's face went as pale as it might if she'd killed someone. And her look on her face increased the seriousness of the situation still further.
昨日の夜の言葉。同じことを繰り返して。
She looks as arrogant as ever, but I can tell she's nervous. She's glaring at the cup in front of her. I bet she's not really noticing
ごきげん
it.
よう。主催者が遅れてしまって、もう。
I raise my head at the sound of the familiar voice.
あら、ちゃんと連れてきてくれたのね。ありがとう、八重垣さん。
She smiles happily, her cheeks flushed, as Shidahana leads her along by the hand. The way she's dragging her foot looks painful, but judging by the way she's holding her body weight, I don't think it's too serious an injury.
皆さん、心配をおかけしてごめんなさい。でも、軽い捻挫なので大したことがないの。なんだか、もっと大怪我をしなければいけなかったのかと思ってしまうわ。
Joe gets some chuckles and the tension finally eases. I give my tea partner who's standing beside me a pat on the bottom. She makes her way ploddingly over to Hanabishi, her expression tense.
高崎さん。
私、あの時は。
She starts and stops a few times, but it's like she's been cursed with an inability to apologize. The rest of our classmates are watching her suspiciously, wondering why she's hesitating.
いいのよ。私が倒れた時、あんなに青い顔をしていたのですもの。悪いことをしたのだって思ったのでしょ？
それは私があんなことを言い出したから。
いいえ、転倒してしまったのは高崎さんのせいじゃない。自分のせいよ。
It would not have happened had she not pushed for you to redo the test like 3 times, though. The president smiles soothingly, maternally, and Chidori stares intently back at her as though having found something significant in her face. Then after a moment,
ごめんなさい。花火さん。
the words fall from her lips as a whisper. The president takes her by the hand, her smile acting as a signal for the other tea party attendees to start chattering happily among themselves.
一見落着か。
Seeing that Chidori is still looking down at her feet despite having been forgiven, I append a silent for now. With the tea party in full swing, people are breaking off into little groups, and I head over to join Shirahane.
本当にただの捻挫か？
Yeah, like, an injury could happen. And there's no one to blame for slipping on the floor that's wet from all the sweat, obviously. She answers with a look of surprise.
本当よ。大事をとって今日一日は保健室登校をしていたけど、明日からは
But you would still
教室に
feel bad
戻れ
if
るわ。
someone hurts themselves after you've pushed for them to, like, keep doing something.
付き添っていた白羽が言うなら大丈夫か。どうも勘ぐっちまうのが悪い癖だ。
なあに？私のことを心配してくれているの？
Hi, Sagi. Good evening. How are you? Sure didn't feel like Shirahane in that It's basically Dahlia's fault. Okay, let's push the blame on Dahlia. Good evening. You're good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm also good. Oh, thank you for that. I'm also good. What have you been up to? I'm gonna try and finish this scene, I think, for tonight. The bashful twinkle in her eyes makes me want to tease her even more.
いや、今日一日保健室登校で白羽が付き添っていただろ。ベッドもあることだし、処置仲間を
Some
襲
actual
ってや
dinner,
しない
which
か
is
っ
just going to
て
be
ね。
like the 5 mozzarella sticks I still have in my fridge. I'm hungry. Her cheeks flush scarlet.
そんなことしてないわよ。確かに手を取ってもらえたり寄り添っていたからドキドキはしてしまったけど。だってしょうがないじゃない。スオさん、すごく優しくて、なんかもう。
She's completely red in the face and doesn't seem to realize that she's simply digging a deeper hole for herself.
リッカさん。
Shirahane is also blushing and looking down at the ground, of course.
高坂はもういないんだ。委員長とよろしく。
Holding hands. Unprotected hand holding. Lewd. Usually this would be seen as sort of coming out and people might poke fun at it, but it's an open secret that the president has a thing for Shirahane. Our other classmates have been supportive too. Tea party continues harmoniously for a while until the chat is interrupted by a spoon being tapped against a teacup. Funny situation. Yeah, you are right. Oh, onion rings are also
どう
good.
したのりっちゃん。まさかまた恋人宣言？おお、りっちゃんさん。ふざけないの。個人的なことだけど、みんなには報告しておきたいの。ここへ来る前にダリア先生と話し合ったのだけど、バレエ発表会でのオーロラ姫の役は高崎千鳥さんに決まったわ。
Woohoo! Cantonese fried rice. Mmm. The tone of the resulting chat is questioning rather than congratulatory. When the murmuring has died down, Hanabishi continues.
怪我で稽古が出遅れてしまうこともあるけれど、私自身オーロラ姫は高崎さんが向いていると思ったの。
花火師さん。
言いたいことはわかるわ。でも決してあなたの思うようなことだから。
She's really tall.
高崎さんの方が姫役が
She's
入
like
ると思っ
half
た
a
から
head
よ。
taller than Nico's. I mean, also for one, because her head is always like this. Like down? But even then.
それにフロリナ王女役も面白そう。オーロラ姫の結婚式で招かれるおとぎ話のお客様で長靴を履いた猫と白猫。私たちですね。ええ、それに赤ずきんたちとも踊れるし。
The last Little Red Riding Hood we had was a guy who had some serious mental issues. God, it's been such a long time since we played that. And then, like, months after I finally finished it, I found out that I wasn't allowed to stream any of it. The president smiles at Shirahana and everyone seems reassured. Looks like a little crush has its uses.
そうそう、それでもう一つお話があるの。これは提案なのだけど、いい？赤ずきんと踊る狼役を譲ってというのはなしだよ。
162. She just looks tall because everyone else is even smaller. I don't think we have a single character in this game who's over 170. The student who's paired with Shirahana, Yasaka, I think, smiles bashfully.
違います9月2日がダリア先生のお誕生日なのよ。だからみんなでお祝いしたいと思ったの。お誕生日会いいんじゃないかな。お世話になっているしね。いちご姉は特にお世話をかけているですよね。
It's somewhere in Japan. A Catholic school somewhere in Japan. The twins continue with the banter, raising laughs from the crowd, while everyone else chimes in with their approval of the party idea.
私も構わないわ。八重垣さんは？
She doesn't even need to ask. Sister Basquiat does so much for me. She nods, her braids trembling.
それじゃお誕生日会決定ということで、プレゼントを何にするか決めましょう。
I've never seen The Hobbit or read Rings, something with rings. Lord of the Rings. Anyone even close to 180, for sure. She announces this with a little jump, grimacing slightly in pain as she lands. Aww, Nika. Something with rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Listen, I got it. Give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute. They are Japanese teenagers. I feel like it would be a little more disorienting if all of these Japanese girls that are 14, 15 would be 180.
Guess it just wasn't funny.
Taking the hobbits to Isengard. Not a minute, no rest for no. Why are you also mean to me today? It's like Lord of the Rings movies all the rage in the early 2000s. Yeah, I was never into it. It was just never my thing. The movies are really fucking long as well. I mean, maybe I watched them at some point, sometime in my life, but it's not really something that is on my to-do list that I have to absolutely get it done, you know? Oh dear, Elf. Yeah, Albany is here. The French talking shit. Yeah, no, the neighbors that are still outside. That's what I'm hearing. Thank you for a nice stream. No, thank you for coming. I feel like I am derailing. Anything that's happening in this game, I'm just completely derailing all the time. But on the other hand, why not? Why not? Let's see though, let's see. Ooh. Who have I not? Who have I not? I should actually keep a list of who I rate. What do you mean you don't rewatch the 4 hours director's cut of The Return of the King every half a year? Yeah, no, the amount of times I've been told that there's these extended editions of all the movies and then people watch all of them like in a row and it's like over 12 hours of movies. I'm like, yeah, no. But Nui, you can play Persona 5 for 15 hours. Yeah, sure, but that's because I'm playing. I cannot sit for 12 hours watching a movie. The 20-hour, yeah, no, nah. Good job for everyone who can do that. I can barely stay awake for a full 20 hours, so maybe not for me. Maybe not for me. Yuri ran a Lord of the Ring movie. You know, your choice. We're gonna. Your sister said several Lord of the Ring extended edition days with friends. Oh my god! Yeah, one of my coworkers has also done it with friends, and then by the end, he was the last one actually still awake watching them. What about Ghibli and Aragorn? Aragorn is the dragon, right? Right? I don't know who the other dude is. These are rookie numbers. To be fair, I have watched the entire first season of Winx Club in one go. When I was like 13? Because a friend lent the first season to me on DVD, and I just popped that disc in and just watched one episode after the other. No break whatsoever. But I don't think I can do that anymore. The original Dragonborn. I do not know. Frankly, I don't care to find out more about Lord of the Rings either. I know they have a ring and I need to bring it somewhere, and also, ooh, evil being. Ooh, throw the ring into the fire. Ooh. That's all I know. That's enough for me. I'm sure they're lovely movies and books, but not everything is for me. Not everything is for me, and that's okay. Not everything has to be for me. What I wanted to say is we're gonna continue playing this game on Sunday. If you don't like Star Wars either, I've seen 2 Star Wars movies. One of them at the insistence of a friend who was like, hey, maybe if you watch them, you'll actually like them. I'm like, okay, sure, I don't mind watching one of them with you. But on my own, that's not my thing, no. As a hangout thingy with friends, yes, sure. But I can't say I care much about Star Wars, no. You come in here with movies with real people and you really expect me to be like, oh yeah, definitely. I've been into that thing for 500 years. Yeah, what Akira is saying. Real people things? Yeah. You're only there for the laser sword space ninja wizards, most of those. That's fair. I mean, they make a nice little whoosh sound. I can get behind that. They make a nice whoosh sound. Yeah. That's gonna be it for tonight. Yeah, no, I haven't. Oh, we're gonna continue this game on Sunday. I'm gonna see you all for more Neo Tweeby on Friday, assuming Friday is not cursed, which I would very much appreciate. And then Saturday, more Yakuza, where hopefully my internet provider, Vodafone, does not kill the stream like it did last Saturday. No, we still haven't finished Neo. We finished week 2 in Neo. We have almost the entirety of week 3 still left. Thank you for your stream. Good night. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by. Let me actually set up the raid before my music runs out. Let's go say hi to Vani, who's playing Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think it's big on spoilery thingies though. Slow but steady progress, it sure is. It's slow progress, but it is progress, and we're gonna finish the game at some point. Then we're gonna move on to something that is hopefully gonna be a little more enjoyable. Not that I don't enjoy it, but hey, it's out there. But yeah, thank you so much for coming by tonight. Have a good rest, everyone. I'm gonna hope my neighbor shut up soon and then go to sleep. Good night. And bye bye. Bye bye bye.